Alrighty, hello, welcome back everybody. Sorry about that. YouTube decided it had enough with doing streaming, so there we go. Yeah, I think Intisty and everybody got cut off the face of YouTube just for a second. The entire YouTube live stream went completely dead. So welcome back. Yet again, I've managed to get a couple of the Bretonnian peasants together, and we're going to discuss the Skaven Chaos matchup. So as you can see here, we're going to be having Razor going up against the green one. And we'll do 3, 4, maybe even 5 games depending on the time, and we'll go through the matchup in quite amount of detail. It's going to be always land battles, and we're going to try and do this every single Friday. So do leave a comment down below with other kind of matchups you'd like to see. Maybe like Grand Cathay against Dwarfs, or I think that could be quite an interesting one. Yeah, there's many matchups you could see. Yeah, Dwarfs mains always make problems. 100%. I can't even lie. All Panter's fault. I mean, to be fair, Panther and I can imagine him actually being problematic here. To be fair, he is that kind of guy, Right, so let's chat to the boys.
What can men do against
Right.
such
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Razor,
Right.
deafen yourself. Green one, deafen yourself. Let's get this rumble in. So, I'll tell you what we'll do, just for the people, just to get into this. How are we doing, guys? Hope we're doing really well. Both of you two, DM me privately. That's going to be Moore and Rem. You two DM me which faction you think this favours.
It's hard to say, but I'll make my guess.
Okay. Interesting, yeah. So it looks like So I think I would say Chaos as well. And it looks like all three of us agree. And it looks like also, before the public was agreeing, now in the 10 votes, it looks rather even. Give me a quick breakdown as to why. Let's start with you, More. Why do you think it favors Warriors of Chaos?
Simply because they have more option, I feel like. Skaven rely very, very heavily on Globadiers, while Chaos has multiple approach he can go with. And just this flexibility gives him the edge, because it's when you know what's coming, you can prepare for it, while Skaven has to be very... It has to prepare for everything and really rely on those Globadiers, and it's the only hope they have. So I think it's Chaos favored.
Okay, and Rem, what do Skaven have that allow them to get back into this game? So it's obviously not favoured for them, but what do they have? What tools do they have they can use to win this?
Well, as we saw in his army, it's mainly Globadier play on your ability to not having them get shut down. It's the main thing. So you have a few tools for that. Of course, you got Right Augers. You have the Warplating Cannon to stop the caster from trying to snipe the Globadiers. Like if you got a Zinch caster, he can't blue fire the Globadiers to death. Because he will get on cooldown.
So you say blue fire, but we've gone with Sarthorial for this one. So that's metal magic with Searing Doom and Final Transportation.
Well, it works too, It's another way to snipe it. It's just like I say blue fire because it's the way I go. I found it's the only thing I don't like about Green One Army currently is that he got an HQ, let's say, that is very expensive, which means it doesn't have a lot of units to sacrifice to the Globadiers, because you still need a bit of chaffs that you can say, okay, they can die doing 100 value, I don't care. But he got only 4 Marauder, and it may be the thing that will be a problem for him at some point.
So here's a quick question as well for the pair of you, and feel free, either one of you. So we've gone with the Wartlightning Cannon, but we didn't go, say, with like the Wartlock Giselles. Now, why would you go with the Wartlightning Cannon, but not the Natty Bobo Sharpshooters?
The sharpshooters are mainly good to kill infantry on some special entities. The Warpling Cannon, first the ROR can put a cooldown on your spells, or it can like pressure the Lord all along. It can also force a rampage on a potential Manticore. It won't happen here because it's Exalted Hero and Manticore, so they don't rampage, but it's still coming a scene. And at last, it's way better against Chaos Spawn if you choose to shoot them.
Right, so let's pop into this then.
Yeah, I really want to stress that the contact effect on the Zap is really what makes him good.
Right.
And
okay.
I'm kind of curious because I'm fairly sure the contact effect applies even if you shoot at the siege barrier, but I want to see because I'm not sure. Okay, so it does. So it's great. It will work as well on Sartorel then.
So for you guys in chat, if you have any questions, do feel free to ask. Is this going to be a series? That's great. Yes, it's going to be a series. So today, this Friday, maybe we'll start with one a week, and if we want to do more, we'll do more. It's all down to the ODM lads and how much time they've got. But yeah, we'll try and do one a week if we can, and then we'll try and go through all the matchups. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. It's really wide, a good 20 stack there from the Skaven. And I kind of expect the same from the Warriors of Chaos, and I feel that their 20 stacks are just better. I really like going really wide with Marauders, like really wide with Marauders, and then just lots of mobility, such as like Marauder Horsemasters.
But yeah, you are on a timer because of the Globadiers. It's really how fast can you reach them.
Yeah.
If you don't reach them fast enough, you lose because they kill everything. If you do and you shut them down, you win because that's the only thing that really has killing power for the Skaven army.
Yes.
So that's really the victory condition.
So also you have the Regiment of Renown, I forget what they're called. There's the Regiment of Renown that also have the artillery pieces that are the same as the Globadiers, but they have a longer range.
The Avalanche Mortars.
Yeah, the Avalanche Mortars. Yeah. Would you ever consider those in this matchup?
No.
They can be deadly, but they are very easy to dodge.
Right.
To dodge, and they're easy to snipe as well. What's good about Globadiers is that they're inexpensive, so you have a lot of them. And you can't just blue fire them because there are too many of them.
Actually,
the mortars, I mean, you can blue fire one, maybe two, but not all of them. If you have blue fire and your opponent has the mortars, you just win because you can snipe them super easily.
Yeah, so to answer that for people at home, it's also that you get a lot of cost efficiency from your Winds of Magic against those Avalanche Mortars. While if you use Pink and Blue Flame on these 500 gold units, you're not getting too much in return for your money of magic investment.
I mean, like a blue fire can, if you put just shot in parallel to the formation, you will like midlife the unit of Globadiers, which is good now because like the damage over time is lower compared to Warhammer 2, but instead it's the explosion that deals a lot of damage now, which makes the unit a bit more bursty, if I can say that.
So go for the Skaven idea here. Do we want a little bit of height, or do we want a flat surface to fight on?
I would say height.
See, that's what I'm thinking, but I'm a dwarf player, so I would really be looking at this right-hand side here.
An issue I would have to be on the height is cannon may get obstructions.
Yes.
At some point.
I don't know if I draw. Can you guys see that?
No, we can't.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, if you for on stream, obviously.
If we do this, no, I can't even ping. Okay.
So if we had it in this zone for those at home, in here, we can then assume that this might be in the way. So if we look down here, there's potential that you could get blocked, but it looks relatively decent on this right hand side. I wouldn't say it's terrible. Then of course you're quite close to the white line then, so you've also got to be careful from routing Skaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this location is decent really. It's the hill would have been good, but I understand he doesn't want to take the risk of having his line of sight obstructed, so just fight on a flat surface. It can also be good for the surprise effect. If your opponent expects you to deploy on the hill and go in front of it, you can be on the other side and have that little surprise. Why not?
So one thing I'm a little bit concerned about, maybe you guys will tell me a little bit more. I'm a little bit worried about these flanks of Skaven. So if you see on the right and the left-hand side, I see they're quite low on troops. Now they have one Rat Ogre and one Skaven Slave on each flank, but could you not break through that really quickly with a one-sided push?
You have to think about the summons as well. Skaven have a lot of summons to plug those gaps.
Yeah.
It can be very easy for the Triad to go on the right, summon their unit, and the same for the Lord to go on the left. And then you will probably have enough time to blob up enough Rat Ogres to block the flanking attempt.
So
But it's also like it's also your responsibility to see the flanking coming and rotate your army a bit.
So we can see immediately we're going to have the artillery shooting at the Chaos Spawn. Are you a fan of that? Not a fan of that?
One of the targets, so yes, it's decent. As you can see, it's killing them pretty fast.
Yeah.
So a good counter is also the Marauder Horsemasters against your Rat Ogres, right? I think they're pretty decent counter. Why would you prioritize the Chaos Spawn over the Marauders?
Because it's hard to dodge with them.
Right.
I would say.
Okay, fair enough.
So you're going for guaranteed value over a gamble if you shoot at the Horsemasters.
So at the front we have Sarthoro coming out on foot on his own. I assume he's trying to distract the fire ability of the Poison Wing Globadiers.
Yes, that's right. I guess what Razel should have done is to be a bit more on the left, because now Green One will use the hill to actually push from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can see he's pushing a few troops to the right-hand side here. We go for a heavy right-hand push.
Yeah, I don't like it though. His troops are very blobbed up. You can see two Marauders on top of each other. I don't think that's a good idea at all.
Mm-hmm.
Because they will be very easy to stop and then...
Nice.
Yeah, very nice Searing Doom.
Very nice. Good catch there on the Cancel Guard.
Not sure I like the Overcast, but why not? I guess he saw an opportunity, he took it.
The Overcast also doesn't... If it does get procted for damage, it also doesn't affect Sarthorial.
Yeah, yeah, as we saw.
So the Marauders are already breaking in the front line. That's one unit going down.
Yeah,
here.
yeah, he will run very low on infantry very soon.
Also, I don't know if you see the Marauder Horsemasters on the left. It looks like Green One has left some of them quite far out.
He's probably waiting for a bit of an opening.
But I really don't like this engagement from Green One. Engaging with his Marauders one by one is just begging for the Skaven to destroy them one by one. And a lot of his troops were inactive for too long while the other in front died. Mm-hmm. So I think right now I would certainly say Razel is winning at the moment.
Okay, so Razel's doing pretty decent. We do have a Manticore in on our Poison Wing Globes, but the Pit Fighters are also fighting. But it looks like the Hellstriders changed their direction.
They did.
So it's not going to be a bit of a goon blob. It looks like the Exalted Heroes are designed here to fight on their own and compromise elements of the build from the Green One.
Yes, which they are doing decently, but they won't be able to do it forever. As you can see, their health is dropping quickly. And at some point, they will need to have reinforcement from outside,
but there
which
is
isn't coming because they're all dead by now.
It was the main weakness of Green One army, is that he had not enough infantry.
Yes.
So he doesn't have a lot of sustainability in a way.
But right now we see big openings there in the formation of the Skaven, but we'll see if there is still enough troops for Chaos to exploit it.
So nice Searing Doom again. I actually thought that the Gracier was misplayed there. It came really out of the pocket.
Very nice, the Dreaded 13th. Yeah, it's midlife to one of the Horsemasters.
Yeah.
One makes him run.
You've seen them there on the left, so they're going to be down to 2,300 HP, looking rather broken here. Which is that explosion is really should be thought as an explosion spell.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's a hybrid, right? Both are very important. But I agree, you should certainly not underestimate the explosion.
So you can see the mismanaged in the back here. We got Marauder Horsemasters getting chased down by the Wolf Rats with poison, and then we actually managed to get some Clamor out with spears, poking and stroking here up against the Horsemasters.
Yeah.
So Gracier is using the Unholy Clamor, which is really good there. You're going to get that Vigor and Leadership bonuses really strong there for Skaven.
And as you can see, Green One is now trying to snipe the Lord. It's his last hope to win. Yep. It's to snipe the Lord and get big their roads, but it's really a desperate move because he only has his Goon Squad. So one Manticore already dead.
I think if
the other one is
Lord
still
here,
pursuing.
That's going to be
He
enough.
might.
That's going to be a good amount of balance of power, but he really has to get these horse masters in and start taking down. Because the main threat to that counter is now going to be the remainder of the wolf rats, not wolf rats, sorry, the rat ogres.
Yes.
A big volley on one of the remaining Horsemaster.
Yeah.
It dealt a lot of damage, like
Oh, yeah.
40% of their health. That's a lot.
Yeah,
Another one.
So I love these.
Yeah,
I
he
love
got
these
deleted.
Searing Dooms. I love these Searing Dooms. So Rat Ogre's just going to be plugging the way. The Lord Choice is going to annoy. Really good stuff there from Razul. And that's probably going to be pretty much on the point of army losses here, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he has nothing to kill the Conceal Guard anyway. I mean, maybe Searing Dooms, but that's it. And way too many Globadiers are still healthy. So yeah, this is done. I do not see a way for Chaos to win this.
I mean, there might be a blob, and then we might have an opportunity for a good Searing Doom play here and a snipe on the Lord.
Yeah,
but
and he has Final Transmutation, but you know, it's... Yeah, I think even with a very nice Searing Doom or Final Transmutation, Skaven has too much stuff healthy.
Yeah, mainly like all the Rat Ogres are still somewhat here. So they will be able to kill the edge.
But really the big mistake that Green One did was engaging 2 one by one. The engagement were not... You need to have a full surround and full attack all at the same time. If you rush like he did by sending 1 unit at a time, you will lose like he did. Because you will get obliterated by the Globadiers.
Yeah, no, agreed. And being it was 1 by 1 as well, it's not too taxing on the micromanagement from the Skaven player, right? It's, deal with that, move on to the next one, deal with that. Exactly. But there we go. Yeah. So, very interesting game. Let's drop this. I think Sarthoril was really good. 3,061 damage value for him. I really like Metal Magic here against Skaven. I think it's very much proved itself to be quite powerful. 450, 560 there from the Exalted Heroes, so coming way under half value, which is probably what you expected, lads. I know you were saying you didn't have too much faith in the Exalted Heroes.
Well, they are very expensive. I mean, my issue with the army is that it was the lack of infantry. Like he had the less infantry you have, the smaller your timing window is to properly push with everything when your surround is met.
Yeah, I think I agree as well. I think also he didn't use his Marks of Grace. He only used 2 of them. He had another 2 left, and I think Hellstriders are very strong, and I think they're still a pretty decent counter to Rat Ogres. Would you agree?
Oh yes.
But yeah, I think you dealt with the one of the downfalls from the Council Guard. They're slow. You can just ignore them, which is what I thought was pretty good from the gameplay. We saw only 580 value from them. Cannons got 950, so pretty decent value. 950 from their pit fighters. 780 from the triads. 700, 500, 1,000. Is that there? Yeah, 1,000 from the Rat Ogres. So Rat Ogres did pretty well here. Globadiers 410, 750, 1,000 and 400. So good overall. Even the Wolf Rats with Poison did pretty decently at 644. And the front line was overall pretty garbage. Yeah. So let's get some opinions from these gents. See what they have to say. See what they think about the matchup when they were playing. But yeah, a quick question. So we obviously have Searing Doom. Searing Doom is more efficient if you overcast it, right? It's reduction on Winds of Magic, but you get the same value on. You get more value for Winds of Magic, right? Would you agree with that?
Hello.
Hello, you're back.
Nice, guys. How did you find the matchup? Let's start with the green one. How did you find that?
Absolute nightmare.
Right.
The global dealers make me really frustrating to trying to get into his gun line or something like that. I mean, I know I brought less infantry than people expected because I feel like more or less useless. I mean, it's just it doesn't make time even to make my singular entities work. Also, I found the Manticores not really good. I thought Razel would have bring some like assassins or stuff like that to protect the Grazier,
Yeah.
but yeah, that wasn't necessary because the Rat Ogres bullet them. So yeah, that was such a pain in the ass to beat.
What about you, Brazel? What did you find difficult in the matchup? Was there anything that you struggled with?
Mainly Sartorial,
Yeah.
the main problem. The Manticores, it was not really fearing them. I don't think it's that big of a deal for Skaven with Ratogers. And with the new gloves, spawns are not really a problem anymore.
Yep.
So it's mainly entities for Way of Chaos that I'm kind of afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from that, I think it's a fine matchup. So
Awesome. Moore and Rem, was there anything else, you guys, that you saw there that you would like to have seen slightly differently, maybe?
I mean, we already
Yeah.
said everything about the game, like how green one engage. It wasn't very ideal.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it.
Anything from you, Moore?
about the assassins that Game One spoke about, the thing is now in Warhammer 3 with the Ultra Scale, assassins are pretty bad, honestly.
Yep.
So I don't think Skaven. I don't think you should expect Skaven to take them anymore.
Okay, fair enough. Yep. Anything from you, Moore?
No, I think I said what I needed to say, and yeah, I really think 4 infantry is not enough, and you really need to have a more precise plan on how to shut down Globadiers when you play against Skaven. That's really I cannot stress it enough. This is the victory condition.
Okay. So I think for the next one, how about Razel, you now play Chaos. And how about we switch Rem? How about Rem, you go in and you play the Skaven now against Razel, and then Grimon, come join us on the panel.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
And then each one of you can play Skaven once and Warriors of Chaos once against each other. Classic. Rem joins immediately, starts with Britonia. Love to see that. Classic ODM trait. Right, you gents, Razel and Rem, if you two mute up, and then we'll chat about the matchup.
Yeah, okay.
Hell Cannons against Skaven, if they are not expecting artillery. So that's a good question for you guys. How do you feel about the Hell Cannon in this matchup?
I feel good about it, especially if you bring a spell to snipe artillery. Because I was thinking exactly the same after having seen the match. If you had the Hell Cannon and some Blue Fire or just Searing Doom to snipe the Regiment of Renowned Cannon, I think you could do very well. But really, you need to think that your Hell Cannons will get destroyed by the Skaven artillery. So you really need something to shut the artillery down if you bring Hell Cannons. And you have spells for that, but it takes time.
No, this is true. I think you do, and this is an interesting one for the green one. With
Well,
Warriors of Chaos, how would you consider bringing Bellicor? How do you
yeah,
think
I was thinking Belacor at first, but then I remind one very old build with Arthuriel plus the two Manticores, and I wanted to try if he's still good or not.
No, it's a
But
fantastic try. Yeah.
talking a bit about the Hell Cannon, you also have the 13 spell to shut down the Hell Cannon. So I don't know if this is good or not, because I mean Skaven are pretty good shut down when they have to shut down some kind of artillery.
If you were aggressive with it, could you do it? So, for example, if you let's say you went Bellicor because he's undivided, you went 4 Hellstriders, 4 Marauder Horsemasters, lots of infantry push with Bellicor, and you had 2 cannons in the back, and you protect it by being wide with mobility. Could you bully them and then prevent the 13th from coming out to get onto it?
I do not think that is a viable strategy because Be'lakor is so expensive, and if you bring a Hell Cannon, it's also very expensive.
Yep.
Yeah.
The rest of your army is going to be so small, it won't be able to protect anything. So you will end up with a dead Hell Cannon and just an alone Be'lakor that will end up dying anyway.
So for
And plus-
for Parkerilla, if you are going to bring Hell Cannons, what kind of lord are you expecting to bring?
Like
a
us,
very cheap one, maybe. Something like, I don't know. I think Sartorial could be good.
yeah, Sartorel or a Tzeentch Chaos Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking if you
That's
had like
it.
the Tzeentch Chaos Lord on like a disc or something, would that be sensible?
Yes,
Okay.
I will say that's a possible plan, but it's very
Even
point
Valkyria
flipping.
with, yeah, Sartorial.
So very interesting. We're going to see some changes here. So Razel's now going to be playing Warriors of Chaos. And he's gone for a very, very different approach. So he's going to be bringing Be'lakor with Pit of Shades and Penumbral Pendulum, which I think is going to be very good at taking care of the Globideers. But he's also going to go with double Doom Knights, including the Knights of Immolation.
Yeah,
And then also... oh no, it was that. It was going to be double
he's
Manticore.
changing his mind, but he's bringing the Doom Knights Regiment of Renown.
Yes, and then he's got double Manticore, only 3 Marauder Horsemasters, Warhounds with poison and without, and then only 5 Marauders. So we've gone from 4 to 5. Is that enough infantry for you?
I
It's
still,
already a little
believe
bit
yes.
better. And he has the dogs. You need to think of the dogs as well, which are more numerous than the 2 Hellstriders we saw before, so they will be able to cover more ground.
Yes.
But we'll see if 5 is enough. He cannot bring more than 5 normal Marauders, so... And bringing more expensive infantry, it's just asking for more expensive targets to be nuked by Globadiers. So I understand the reasoning behind taking just 5 cheap infantry.
Sure.
Probably, if he could take more than 5, he probably would. But since he can't, he'll just take the max.
So we'll then go to Rem. So Rem is going to be having pretty similar build, but we're going to have the Ruin caster this time, which is going to have the Howling What Gale, What Lightning. So it looks like he's going to be wanting to deal with more of a sky build.
Yeah, he's very much better prepared against Be'lakor than Razel was.
I actually think
So it's
I
gonna
prefer
be
this.
interesting.
I prefer this caster personally. What's your thoughts on Ruin against Greyseer?
Like you say, it's great against flying.
Yeah, yeah, it's great. I mean, if you combine him with the Rattling Gun,
Yep.
it's the Optimus way to deal, and I guess it's another way to face this. I don't know if I prefer the Gracier or the with the Ruin of the Plague. I don't know.
So we've also got
I think
Gutter
for this kind of build,
Mhm.
it's the Optimus way to do it.
Yeah, so I really like, this is my favourite, which is Teeth Breakers plus the slow with the Howling Walk Gale, etc. I think it just deletes Manticores, etc. And I actually quite like the Gutter Runners. Obviously, they're going to be there for a bit of scoot and shoot in the front.
And good against Be'lakor, the Gutter Runners.
And then we also got 4 Rat Ogres, 3 Poison Globadiers, and a little bit more infantry, a little bit more elite. So we're going to go some Clan Rats as well.
Yeah, he has no summons, so he has to compensate with a little bit better quality infantry.
Yes.
What I don't like in Raim's builds, or what I would like to see, is something against Hell Cannons. Because we were just talking about Hell Cannons, and I think if you bring a Hell Cannon against this Skaven build, you will have a very good time.
Yes, I think so too. I think...
You never see them, so I understand Raim's perspective of why would I prepare for something that I never see.
So we have another question for you guys. Archeon, on horseback. Is he good in this matchup? Yes or no?
Is he good? Yes. Is he optimal? I would not say so.
I will say yes. The change, the lore spell now he has. I think yes, he's good. I don't know about the mass and stuff. I instead of Archeon, I would have bring Be'lakor. I think it's a lot better here.
So
But
why wouldn't you bring Archeon? What's the reason?
yeah, the reason I don't want to be my Archeon blocked by
Like
bunch
Rat
of
Ogres?
Route Ogres and bunch of infantry or stuff like that. I don't know about the mass. I don't know if Archeon could just ignore the halberds.
I think the answer is very simple. You want to kill the Globadiers. Does Archeon kill Globadiers? No, he kills Lords. So do you want to bring him? No, because you have better Lords to kill Globadiers than him.
Yes, okay. I was trying
But
to
he
think
can't-
of a question to protecting the Hell Cannons and the Spellcasters from distance. Oh, I see. I think in general for this matchup, you're going to want some sort of flame ability with your Lord, I think, because then it allows you to negate a lot of the Skaven army.
Yeah, but it leaves you vulnerable to what Ram is doing now.
Yes, exactly. But I think I think one thing we can see in this matchup is it's very much tit for tat. I have an answer to this, but for example, if he didn't bring a flying force here, you know, this is very much where he would have preferred to have summons.
Yeah, totally.
Raisel texts me. I think he refers to Sarthorael. He found really hard to kill
Yes.
with the Skaven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now with the warrior, I think it's pretty good. But yeah, let's see this Belacor. I think maybe Belacor better, but it's a little bit expensive for me.
Yeah, I think the same. And Belacor has no armor, and as Skaven, I will try and prepare for spawns.
Yeah.
And if you have something that can kill spawns, it can kill Belacor as well. Just even very cheap Slave Slinger can already do a number on Belacor. Same for the Gutter Runners, so you have good answer as
I think on
Skaven
the
with Belacor.
on the counter though, you do have healing with Belacor, plus you also have
that's true.
the damage resistance. So if you dive in, you'll have that 40% damage resistance when you go. So we are going to have the Lord of Torment and also the Whisperers. So that will also remove immune to psychology and then also reduce leadership, which I think is quite important.
Yes. The leadership bomb on the Skaven will be very, very hard. The fact that he has this just the world terror and the leadership debuff will be hard for them. That's for sure. That is for sure.
So if we do a little bit of maths for people, so terror is -13 leadership plus the -8 there from the Whispers in the Darkness, that's already -21. So if we talk about Skaven slaves, 35 leadership, that's bringing them already at 14. So that's looking, and of course if it hits below 0, they get terror routed. So it's already looking pretty bad. If you've got rear charges, side charges, depletion and health, it's looking pretty bad for the Skaven.
It is. That is if Belacor can reach them, because he will get a Howling Warpgale and he will get shot to bits by the Rattling Gunners.
So the question
But
is,
if he can get in, he will wreck everything, that's for sure.
well, that's
And one
what,
thing I'm not pretty sure, those Manticores, without the hero, I mean,
yep.
when he gets into Rampage, I think easily. I don't know if it is a good pick or not. Maybe it depends how he uses, of course, but I don't know if it is a good pick.
So I have a good
Because of the
question for you
Rampage.
guys. Are you a fan of Belacor going straight down the middle here, straight down the gut of Skaven?
Yeah.
Okay.
He can always move. I think it's good to put him in the middle, just so you can see, because if you put him on a flank, the Skaven player know where Belacor is going to come from, and he will just move his Rattling Gunners there. In the middle, you can still quickly change the place where he is, so why not?
I quite like this position from Chaos, from Razor. He's got 4 different angles to attack from. And also we have the Knights of Immolation over there on the back left as well. So we've only got Teethbreakers is the only unit to counter this mass flying force, so he's going to have to pick something and go for it.
I will not say they're the only one to really counter it, you know, because he has Rat Ogres. And sure, they can only intervene once the Doom Knights are landed, but if the Doom Knights land and then they get intercepted directly, they won't do that many damage to the Frozen Wind Globadiers.
Okay. Well, the nice thing with Be'lakor as well, we do actually have ITP for the Rat Ogres, so that will be removed as well. So they can also be terror routed quite comfortably because 56 leadership is not very high.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something I'm very curious about how Razer is going to manage this, because in my game, I honestly didn't know how to make my engagement really well with the infantry. So
Right.
I'm curious about how he's going to do, because if he go straight forward and make easily contact, he is going to be annihilated really, really easily. So I don't know how he's going to do.
Timing is going to be very, very important.
Yeah.
But I think you can see already his position is pretty good. He will be patient. He will surround totally the Skaven player. And only when the Skaven player is totally surrounded, I will come in with everything at once, and it will be very hard to stop.
Also, he hasn't the pressure of the cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's easily to.
So Rattling Guns firing at the front here. They're going to be destroying the Marauders.
Already we can see a Manticore going in.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah, so one break already from the Skaven Slay Spears on one flank. He dives
very
in.
Good pick.
Yeah, dives in, breaks, moves away. So that left-hand flank is very open.
Ram is choosing to shoot at the Doom Knights.
Good choice.
Which is, yeah.
They get away with that, I think. I think the...
they took quite a bit of damage that was for free. They should not have taken that if Razel had played him perfectly. So I think Rem is happy with that. And now he plays on Be'lakor, is slow.
Yeah.
Is slow, is placed, but he's in.
Yeah, he's in up against the Teeth Breakers.
Yeah.
Shadow Shroud has been activated, so that's going to be that 40% damage resistance.
But as you can see, the Rat Ogres are going to block him.
Wow.
You have the Council Guard as well, so as soon as this Shadow Shroud is over, he will start to take a lot of damage.
Really nice,
maybe a Pit of Shades here, maybe?
Yeah, it could be very good, but he has a lot of things to manage.
Yes.
On the right flank, Raim is slightly mismanaging Globadiers, and Razel is managing his dogs very well. But still, the important engagement is taking place on the left flank, where the Doom Knights and the Be'lakor are doing their thing.
The Doom Knights took half damage.
Look at this! Look at this ODM! Oh my god, this is insane! Insane damage on volley.
Yeah, the Doom Knights are more or less dead, but the Rattling Gunners are completely dead. So
yeah, that's a good idea.
And two of the Rat Ogres now also dealt with and terrified thanks to Be'lakor and a good Pit of Shades.
Yeah, and we can see Raim's micro is lagging behind a little bit. He's only now sending his last Rat Ogre in. He should have done that earlier.
So we have Mortal Horsemasters coming in on the left-hand flank with 2 units of the Warhounds. So they could compromise the Gracie here, perhaps, keep him busy.
But you can see how much damage Be'lakor has taken just from a few volleys of the Gutter Runners.
Yeah. I'm also surprised because Razel did pretty good dealing with the Council Guard. I think maybe the biggest problem instead of the Rattling Guns, the Council Guard, because the Council Guard relies.
Good water lightning there in the back as well. I like that on the Horsemasters.
Very nice one, yeah.
So Horsemasters quite nicely here. They're going to be shooting up against the Rat Ogres. I think that's a good pick. Big counter there up against Be'lakor.
I don't know if it's 0 life.
The dogs have been working very hard, sniping every Globadiers they could. Only one is now still very operational, the other one have been shut down.
So thoughts
on
the
I think
Gracie?
he did a great job. Great job there by Razel.
Gracie, just like here, we're going to have Reem using the Gracie to fight up against Be'lakor.
Yeah.
You a fan of that? Not a fan of that?
I am not, but he has to be there because it's the only safe place for the Manticores.
Yeah,
he needs to be on top of his Rat Ogres, and the Rat Ogres need to be on top of Be'lakor, so he has no choice, he has to be in this melee.
So Chaos is going to be taking the lead here in balance of power. There's a lot of red on the right-hand side of the map here, or Skaven's left, that's not in the battle right now.
Yeah, Raim needs to regroup now. A lot of pressure on the Gracier.
But we could see the great play by Razel of dismantling the formation of Raim by methodically sniping out every unit that was slightly off position and then picking apart every Gobberdier, so that the nice box formation Rem had was taken apart from the first engagement. And that's really what allowed him to take out the valuable target while the Skaven slave were just busy chasing air most of the battle.
Bellicor,
That was a
though,
great
I think
play.
has done some pretty decent work. Bellicor's going to be at
did.
1.8, and that Shadow Shard really allows him
He
to be a
did.
bit of a sponge.
He did great, and his Bit of Shade was great, but now imagine the same situation, but with still 3 Globadiers alive, Chaos will have lost. But now, since they're out, they're in a very good spot.
I'm not sure yet about the Belagor. I don't know if he can carry this game. I'm not sure.
Well, Razor's going to be at 7,000 value, 6,000 for Rem.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the infantry is running low for Chaos, and that's where they start to get problems.
Well, Ratoga's getting chased off from all the Horse Masters. Dogs are doing well on the backside
Manticore
as
is
well.
doing nothing. Yeah.
And Knights of Immolation, actually, I don't know if you know this, but if they're in the sky, they cannot break, no matter how low they get.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they get plus 10 leadership for having high ground.
I didn't know that. Huh?
Yeah, for the Regiment of Renown. Yeah, they cannot break. They will die unless they're fighting on the floor in combat. They will not break. So Bellicor is going to be fighting him up against the Ratogas with the Terrified there, which I think is really important, having Bellicor with that removal of immune to psychology.
Yeah. And he will now duel the Lord. So if he kills the Lord, he will tear out everything else.
Yes.
Which
So
is great.
I think here you kind of need to save your Lord a little bit. I don't know what you think.
You think for the Skaven player, yes, I agree.
Yeah.
But there is some Manticore lurking, so it's not that easy. But I agree, yes, you need to save him. But on the other hand, you also need to kill Bellicor somehow, so... I think Raim's school of thought now is that he wants to put everything on Bellicor while he's alone, and
No,
try to get
Manticore
as many hits in as he can.
We also have 2 Cancel Guard left. I'm hightailing them to go and try and get near the Lord. Just
Oh,
give
Peter
them...
Shade.
Bit of
Oh,
shades,
yeah.
that's going to be
Oh,
disgusting.
that's... It's only Clan Rat, but still, it's
Very
going
valuable,
to do a
very
lot
valuable
of
balance of
damage.
power. Very
And
valuable.
now, yeah, look at Bellicor healing. Yeah, that's...
Yeah. Jesus. And now the Manticores are
are back.
And now
And-
probably tear out for
yeah.
everything else.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it. Yeah, that's the end of it. Everything routes, the Lord will die.
For the Ratogas now, you just push Bellicor in, he'll proc Terror, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do think Bellicor has a lot to offer in this matchup. I really do think he has a lot to
Yeah.
offer.
But
Yeah.
you saw how low he got.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
But his healing cap is present. He has had considerable levels of healing.
Yeah, but that's true.
He's had
But you need-
2,200 healing. So
Yeah,
far.
right now, yes. Right now, yes.
And he's going
But
to
I
heal.
mean, we saw how much a volley of
Yes, yes.
a volley of the Gutter Runner did to him. So it's high risk, high reward. I think certainly a good pick, but I think the green one's pick of just taking Sartorel was also
So-
a smart one.
I have to say this, look at the Doom Knights in the sky, 29 leadership when they're flying, up to 33 now, with only 300
models?
health. 9 models.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, when they're in the sky, 1 model, yeah, with 1 model, I've cast this, they can still have 9 leadership.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's
I
it's
faced
absurdly
many times this unit with Sinch, well with Kairos healing these Knights of Immolation, and it's such a pain. It's ridiculous how good they could be with the healing.
So now,
Yeah.
Terror out should finish this off, but
Yeah,
it's
Max
still
Terror.
it's been a very close game, I have to say.
It is. Yeah. Razel played it really well.
Well, we'll save that one later.
But I really think the dogs are the unsung hero of this match.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
brilliant.
Because we didn't look at them that much, but really he did a lot of with his dogs. They didn't get that much value, but just the fact that the Globadiers were shut down for most of the match was really, really valuable. And yeah, Bellicor could do his thing.
Right, let's
And-
hop in and just save this one for now. So we've had 1-1 so far. So tell me about the Chaos Army. What did you like? So obviously you said a lot about the dog. Is there anything else you liked that was changed in the matchup?
I like the pick of the Knights of Immolation. I think it's an interesting one. The two Manticores, I think, is very hit or miss. But again, I think if you take Be'lakor, you want to saturate the targets. You want to, if you present one good target, you might as well present 3 of them. So I totally agree with this pick of taking Manticores with Be'lakor.
Yeah, I think, well, you know, Be'lakor here, 3,340 value. So,
Yeah.
pretty decent. Even the Knights of Immolation, before they got into melee, this is before they got into melee, they were already down below half health. Yeah, bit of a miss micromanagement. The Rattling Guns smashed them to begin with. They then actually came into the middle, didn't do anything, got hit again by Globadiers and Rattling Guy Fun. But they still got 1,000 value. They still got 1,000 value. Which is absurd.
It is. It is.
700 from the Ferromanticore for one, and the other one didn't really get too much. 1.2, 900, 600 for Horsemasters. I love Horsemasters in this matchup. I think they're very good against Rat Ogres. I really, really do enjoy them. 580 there for 580, 280, 230, and 200 from the Chaos Warhounds. But you know, it gives you that fast, cheap mobility to push off the Skaven units when they break.
Yeah.
170, 44, 250, and 250 from the Marauders. So you can see the Marauders, you know, not even coming close to their value, but they're doing the job that they need to do.
Come back.
Nice. So 550 for the Council Guard. Council Guard struggled yet again here in this matchup. 630 from the Teeth Breakers, 680 and 480 there from the Gutter Runners. 990, 680, 660, and 1,500 from Rat Ogres. Rat Ogres very, very strong in this matchup for sure. A really big fan of those. 360, 1,300 for the Poisonwing Globadiers, and 260. Skaven front line did okay, so 370, 330 for the Clam Rats, and the rest was not too impressive. So if we got the boys back, right? So Razel, this is obviously your second game. Tell me what you felt went well there for the Chaos. What did you enjoy? What do you think really did the good work?
I think the dogs did good actually because they allowed me to kill all the routing globadiers and rattlings and whatever, so I don't have to deal with them when they are back. And I think Be'lakor kinda carried. Like he's really hard for Skaven to kill, and his spells are pretty good. So I think Be'lakor did most of the job.
Yeah, I was saying to the gents, so when we first started, we were umming and ahhing about maybe like Sartorial or Be'lakor, but the one thing that I liked with Be'lakor is that he removes immune to psychology, reduction on leadership, so that plus terror is like negative 21 leadership, plus also with the healing, I think he healed about 2.3, 2.4k health by the end of the game, and and then we also saw he was using that Shadow Shroud, so getting that 40% damage resistance. So when he went into melee, he was, you know, a bit of a meat shield, really, and taking quite a lot of the focus of the Skaven army.
Yeah, and it's very hard to kill with the Skaven range because he has 45% resist to the missile, so
yeah,
it's pretty nice against Skaven because their melee can't really kill him because he's too strong. So.
So Rem, how did you find with the Skaven? What went well with the Skaven? What did you struggle with?
If I did two misplay, it's probably not giving enough space for my Ratling to reposition correctly. Because once he actually engaged, they could not really shoot well. Even when I, like let's say, when I put Ratogers to intercept what was annoying them, they irritated a bit, but they got annoyed by Globadiers, so they couldn't shoot. And then they got pulled back into melee because, of course, one still wanted to fight into melee, so his friend went back, and they got bit of shade pretty much. The other issue was I need my Lord to be close to my Ratogers where Be'lakor is, because he gives extra leadership with his natural aura of being a Lord. But also the Bell actually got a little aura that gives leadership on melee attack. And I wanted all of this because Be'lakor get rid of him into psychology.
Yeah.
Which means the Ratogers can very quickly route, like even faster than usual. So yeah, I think like the problem he was like too close to Be'lakor for too much time. I should have been a bit more careful with him. If I was a bit more conservative, just letting him close but not dueling for hours, I would have been fine, I think, because I would have been able to kill Be'lakor with enough Ratogers.
So another discussion we had there as well, which was interesting with the Wart Lightning Cannons versus having the Teeth Breakers. So we had a question in chat about having Chaos Artillery. So if we had Chaos Artillery there, you might have struggled a little bit with your army. So how do you, now asking Razel and Ren, how do you feel with Chaos Artillery?
About the Hell Cannon, I like the Hell Cannon a lot, but when I think too much like people will play it like me, which is like people will play it if there is something that can cover them. So they will deploy it behind the tree line, behind the rock, or behind like a ridge mountain line. So if they do this, I actually can't shoot the Hell Cannon anyway because it's hidden. and I generally assume that people won't bet to take such a piece on a flat map like this one because it's too dangerous.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. So Moore, you haven't played yet. So Rem, if you go Warriors of Chaos.
Actually, I have to do something like for 10 minutes.
No
so I will be back after, but I need to go very fast.
No problem.
See you in a bit.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Well, we need to get more in anyway.
My game, no, it isn't crashed. It almost crashed. Okay, never
Right,
mind.
I am coming.
So Razel has played both now, haven't you, Razel?
Yeah, so I can let Green One take Skaven.
Yeah. Okay. So Greenwood, if you go Skaven, then and then we'll have more going with the Warriors of Chaos.
Sure.
Can I go to spectator directly or no? Can I join?
Yeah. Sorry, you have to leave and then join.
And about what Rem said about the Elkanon, I also think that it's like a pretty, like not a weak unit, but sometimes the value is pretty random. You can miss a lot, and the Skaven can just push actually because like you can't really hold the line with the globes. So if they see an Elkanon, they can just move the wall formation forward, and I think they're fine, even with the Elkanon.
Hey, Hanadins. So a bit of a statement in chat. Razel's too strong. Nerf him. Coming from Pantelanard.
Oh, but Patana is my fine boy.
Fantastic. All right. So
Is it just me or I can join the?
you should be able to join now. I think Rem's just left. There we go. So green one is going to be Skaven. More if you go with Warriors of Chaos, and then Hanadins. There should be a slot open for you to join.
Yeah, I'm just starting the game.
Fantastic. Hanadins, why is my fault? That's what Pantelanod is asking. He's asking why is it his fault?
Oh, because I think he's the fact that the YouTube crashed a bit earlier is his fault.
It has to be. It has to be.
Yeah, it has to be for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of an ODM thing. Like everything is Panta's fault.
Not on your DM though.
Green one. It seems that we've lost you.
Yeah, my game crashed. So one second.
What is the name of the lobby?
It should be Ducky Loves Kugoff Toes.
Oh yeah.
That's for the way.
No surprise I didn't find it.
But right, so we're gonna have more with Chaos going up against the green one. So if you gents mute up for a second, then we'll discuss the matchup and then.
Okay, just one thing. I'm going to teach more how to win without the Globardiers.
All right, Mr. Moore, we'll see you on the other side.
Show us.
Right, so Hannah, obviously you're going to be just joining us now. Any thoughts for yourself on this matchup?
Well, it's really harder for the KO now than what it was in Warhammer 2, despite hiding all the things of the new things of World of Chaos.
You
But
can't
yeah,
play
I
aspiring champions anymore, which is a tragedy.
I mean, I wasn't able to play them anymore in that matchup.
Come on.
You know what? I tried to play them the other day,
Right.
and it failed completely. Like I had 3 of them, and they didn't pay it for 1. So
Sad life.
yeah, that was a sad day for sure.
And I'm back. It took less time than I expected, actually.
No problem. There's another spectator slot if you want to come join.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
We'll be 4 in the lobby.
We're all good.
Right.
We're all good. I believe in us. So, is a question for you, Hannadins. We talked about artillery fights. How do you feel about Chaos Artillery in this matchup?
It sounds risky. Because Slanesh is prepared for that. You're dead as Chaos. But you might want to try if somehow the map is helping you a bit, or if you know the given player and you know that you could take the risk. And on the paper, it's efficient to kill things of Skaven, but yeah, you need to be.
So it's interesting now. We now have Azazel with Phantasmagoria as the only spell, Tempter and the Demon Blade. So
Azazel is
He probably wants to do some kind of
terror bomb. Yeah, that would be a huge terror bomb thing.
Azazel is a very interesting choice.
I'm not a big fan because he's a bit squishy. And there is a lot of stuff that could actually snipe him.
I do wonder if maybe some gutter runners or something could be a bit of a problem for Azazel.
Yeah.
Cool.
They will be, yes.
Like, he's kind of Bellacore, but he's squishier, so
Yes.
it's more risky.
Like,
But
really squishy.
I think if I had to pick between Azazel and Bellacore, I'm going Bellacore every time because you also remove that immune to psychology. You have healing. You're slightly tankier. You have that Shadow Shroud as well, and a good set of Winds of Magic.
yeah, I think it's better. But maybe he wants Slanesh magic, so
Well, he got Phantasmagoria, which is a net that also put minus to leadership, minus 16.
Yeah,
But
16.
it's very short, which is what I don't like about this spell. It's only 11 seconds.
Also, the only terror now comes from the Pheromanticals.
No, Azazel has
Azazel
terror as
does,
well.
Does he? Oh, okay.
Yes.
I can't see that on my screen, but yes.
He's
Yeah,
ugly enough.
Yeah, he has terror. He has that would be a huge leadership debuff.
Yes, so that'd be what,
Like-
negative 16 plus negative 13, so that'd be 29 negative leadership, which is quite good. You know,
Or even more, because the Demon Blade is removing
Minus
leadership.
16 too.
He's removing leadership as well.
So you got 32 from active abilities on spell, and then you got fear, minus 8, so
Yeah.
40.
that could be 45 negative leadership.
And terror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he does have Temptator, so it's only
At
19
Temptator,
seconds.
you need stuff to route. On no, Temptator, it's a warp save, my bad.
Yeah, ward save and melee reflection.
Yeah. I mean, it's just to me, it just counts the warp save. So the melee reflection is not that great.
But no,
feels like-
it's a very, very interesting strategy. We also have Blissful Rapture, which is actually going to give bonuses to melee stats.
I mean, he tries to show more niche stuff, I guess.
And I like his mark, so he's going to be bringing some Hellstriders. I think Hellstriders are decent. So I only ever see 3 Horsemasters. Why have you guys only ever brought 3? Why not 4?
we don't have the money for 4. To be honest.
I think that's a good.
Okay.
To be
good
honest,
answer.
like 3 is enough to kill 4 attackers pretty easily if you use well your ammunition. So 4
Okay.
can be a bit of an overkill.
So Skaven is going to be going with Ikit Claw. Ikit Claw here is going to be on Doomwell, I think.
Oh, that's a drift. That's a drift green one.
Yeah, Green One likes pretty exotic builds, so
Ah, okay. He's also gone for the more Skitters Hellion, so the Regiment of Renowned Mutant
Oh, that's
Rat Ogre.
interesting. It will be good to brawl with a lord. It also puts the same cooldown effect on than the Warplating Cannon Arwar.
So we see double Gutter Runners, we see 4 of the Slingers, the Skaven Slaves, Clan Rats, Wolf Rats, Rat Ogres, but no Globadiers.
Yeah, as Green once said. Something I can see coming is the net of Ekit going on Azazel with the 4 slingers and the 2 gutter runners shooting at him. Might be I don't know if it's if it's enough to kill him, but might be something.
I think he will really like. Okay, if he would just like replace his dogs with Globadiers, I would like the build, I think. But currently it has. It doesn't have a lot of DPS against the front line.
So
He's removing
here's another
shield.
question for you guys. You have Gutter Runners and then we have Gutter Runners with Poison. So that 75 gold cost. In this matchup, is that a 75 gold worth it?
I think so, yes.
So,
Poison.
explain to the people at home, why is it worth paying 75 gold for Poison?
You have big entities with very good open strength and stats, so it's pretty good to debuff them. And then you're gonna get annoyed by dogs and skirmish cav. If you can slow them and do enough damage before the fight, you can actually win the fight in melee. Because your gutter runners are decent combatants. So it's pretty good to take poisons.
So, another question on top of that, which is really important, and speaking of rat ogres and then also fighting, quite big monsters with the poison, we haven't seen much of Throt. Throt is pretty tanky. He heals a lot. On his mount, he's rather quick. He also summons rat ogres. He can heal. Why don't we see someone like Throt the Unclean in this matchup?
I think I will repeat myself, but Blue Fire is an issue.
Okay.
Another thing, the potential for... we don't see him currently, but maybe Anodin will play him. It's a little mage on his disc of Dinch.
Yep.
So he can snipe Throt, obviously. And then, the guy on his bell actually gives a lot of leadership. Just clicking on the bell ability that gives leadership to everyone when the front line crash, allows the slaves to actually hold, even if there is spawn stomping them. They got enough leadership. And for Ekit, I guess he wants to try something new.
Yeah, and Throt, he's very good with monsters, Skaven monsters, but Skaven monsters except rat ogres are really bad. So
Right.
Even though, if you, let's say you take a Help It currently is the ability to self-heal, the one that triggers at low health, is guaranteed to proc. There is a bug currently on all of these kind of abilities. It's the same on Phoenix. So you don't even need his healing. You will just let the Help It get its automatic heal every time.
Hey, what's up, dog? So it looks like we're going to go with 3 Mortal Horse Masters and 3 of the Tzeentch Marauders here for the Skirmish Cavalry. So, of course, for 100 gold, Tzeentch Marauders are oppressive, is probably the right word.
Yeah.
with a very
I mean, I couldn't think of any better upgrade for 100 gold than the Tzeentch Marauder Cavalry. So yeah, no, I think that's looking pretty good there. So he's going 4 on the skirmish, which I think is that's a question. We obviously said the Wolf Rats did quite well before. Could you have done Marauder Horse Masters just to 500 gold? Only 50 gold more than the Warhounds with Poison. Similar speeds, similar melee kind of combatants, but they also bring extra range. So why would you bring the dogs over the Skirmish Cavalry?
Well, for now, more can't bring more Skirmish than what he has.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense that he has dogs as well.
Right.
And 50 goals is still something.
No, of course.
So, I mean,
When you
just
multiply it
counter.
by the amount of units, it's actually not 50 anymore. It's like 200 or 150. So it adds up. And also, dogs dogs are smaller, they are a bit harder to kill from range.
Okay.
Yeah.
So interestingly, we're going to have double chariots from Moore. He's going to be bringing in Chaos chariots, very heavily armored, good bonuses infantry, good charge bonuses. They're going to be pretty good here up against. Surprisingly, the build here from Green One. Now I don't know how you would predict the Green One like this because the Green One is unpredictable as a human being, but the chariots here seem to be a pretty good counter.
Take a look at the top left corner. We have some drama. We have some drama incoming.
Oh, fantastic! So it's going to be
Green one is in more mind definitely after this.
Wolf rats, one with poison, two without, are going to fight here up against the Chaos Warhounds. We have another one in another corner, but he's going to go for the hill this time. He's going to go for the hill. What do we think about the Hellion? Do we think the Hellion's going to do well here?
Well, I'm afraid that there is 6 skirmish cav in front. In front of him.
I think
And
more...
he has no armor, so I think we are going to see a rip alien
If you just look at the
Ratogers.
base, it's really hard for Green One, I think. His build is
Yeah.
Even with 4 units of gutter runners, you don't think the gutter runners could keep the cavalry in check?
No,
Yep,
it's 4
yeah.
versus
Yeah,
4
for sure.
versus 6, and there is chariots.
Yeah, the charts are very annoying for Gutter Runner. It's like the best counter to them.
And the cinch, I mean, they have a bit of physical resist, but the cinch cavalry has
The
magic damage, of course. So yeah, no, I don't think Green One is a good spot, despite the dogs of Moore dying just right now.
So he's immediately going to dive in here. Moore has realised he is outmatched here in the back corner. And there we go. That's one Warhound down. And actually, surprisingly... Oh, no, there we go. Green One does take the lead, but Moore was ahead. But in the back corner, there's only 2 Warhounds. So there's only 1 Warhound left here now for Chaos.
Yep.
So Ikit's going to dive forward. What's the plan here with Ikit going forward ahead of his army?
Just want to shoot a bit, I think.
No, he's okay to kill infantry with that.
He has like he has a 50 munition, so he can just go in, shoot a bit.
He shouldn't be worried of Azazel. Maybe a net or
Yeah, he can be, but he has a net, he has the gutter runner to help him a bit.
also the Manticore coming across as well.
Yeah, it's becoming a bit risky, but
Yeah, but it's Chadik it on the drift well, so it's fine.
yeah, it's decently tanky actually. So
So we have the Marauder Horsemen of Zinch coming around the corner. I think they're even better up against the Rat Ogres, reducing that armor even more. So it's going to be pretty painful there for the Rat Ogres in the backside. Do you dive your Wolf Rats after these, or do you drop your Wolf Rats back? How do you play this?
The wolf rat, no, you don't dive here.
no,
Just
you
cause like there is 3 calves versus 1, and so it just has to countercharge you, and the wolf rat is gone.
if your Gutter Runner will do fine in a range battle, so you just keep the rats to protect them if there is a charge. You don't need to do more.
So right now, Green One's going to be up. He's going to be up 800 value to 600. Seems to be going in his favour at the current moment.
I mean, I think it's only the case because you killed the dog.
Yeah, the free dog was good value. Gutter Runners are doing pretty fine for now.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, so they're going to be skirmishing quite well in the middle. I mean, they're not super fast. They're not slow either. 49 speed is pretty decent to do a bit of skirmishing with. Could you not push your infantry forward as a bit of a distraction for the horse masters, and then try and shoot over the top with the gutter runners?
You could, but they don't have a lot of range, so if you screen too much, you will not be in range yourself.
Well, I guess that's the annoying thing here with the Zinch cavalry, right? You know, you can take one volley from the gutter runners and then run away, heal up, come back.
Yep.
Does that make an argument for maybe the Zinch cavalry over the Marauder Horsemasters?
Maybe actually. For the price, they may be better.
Yeah. Horsemasters do bring the melee stats, but you're not really bringing them to particularly fight them in melee, right?
They also have more damage from the range, so they kill a bit faster. But so if you want to burst, they are still better.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing Green One trying to catch the free Singe skirmish cav.
Yeah, so he's kind of trying to get a bit of a net going on here. So good charge there with the Wolf Rats. The Wolf Rats really suffering on this leadership.
The other one is not didn't charge, so he's dead.
Yeah, so that's both the
And,
Wolf Rats down now. So this is kind of what I expected a little bit earlier, but yeah, it seems the Wolf Rats, even against just regular cavalry, just suffer here.
Yeah, because they want to burst things, and if they have to burst the shield and then the unit, it's too hard for them.
But it's good damage here. 8 models going down on one. We see the others doing okay. But I don't know if it's worth trading 2 Wolf Rats there for that.
No.
No, it is absolutely not. They took some scum in the face, some javelin in the face of the Ratogers as well.
It's
And
really-
I mean, the 2 Manticores there can just finish the job from oh, there is a net, but there is nothing to shoot
So
at them. So
we are
it
going to
just
see...
did that. Sorry.
They're all netted in the sky here. Can you see that?
Yeah. I mean, more just. I mean, sorry, Green One just did that to get some time,
Mm-hmm.
but
But you
yeah,
still
I mean, there is nothing to shoot at the Manticores and the Zazel now.
yeah, and the chariots are free to kill anything now. The no Ratogers are ready to.
Yes.
So now we're going to get a bit of a 3v1 in the middle here with the Ikit Claw. And the Ratogers move in for a bit of a counter charge.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
here is the Phantasmagoria.
Yeah.
yeah, all the horse masters.
And the
Take a look at-
Discourage.
Yeah.
Yes, it's gonna hurt. I think
Goodbye.
that- Actually, because it's a lot of value. And
Now all the cavalry moves in to finish off the Ratogers here. That's a really nice win there from the Chaos Square.
That is-
yeah, and the error Ratoger, mutant Ratoger just has to leave now because he's gonna get destroyed.
Yeah, also Green One has had 1 Ratogers out of position. So it was kinda
Yeah.
sad.
Skirmish.
And yeah, the yeah, say hello to the skirmish cav.
Yeah. So the Ratogers have well and truly been introduced here to the Chaos Skirmish Cav. And the Morsket Hellion now is getting its backside well and truly bent over. So just 1 Ratoger left. It looks like a lot of the Night Runners and Gutter Runners have got some value here. Nothing really too much to write home about.
Yeah, they didn't have enough time.
So obviously we've gone with the Night Runners for a bit of a skirmish effect. I do wonder if we brought some Slingers. Would Slingers be... because obviously they have more range, so would that be a more optimal strategy? To dealing with the cavalry?
They have more range, but they can't. They don't have
It's the mage.
shooting while moving, so you can't burst the shot.
Could you not do a bit
Better-
of a switch with the infantry? So infantry pushes as they get away, if the cavalry pushes?
I mean, you won't be able to kite, you know. You will be able to deal damage, but you don't have the mobility to choose when you are shooting. I mean, if you are shooting with the slingers, it's because the chaos is in range. And chaos with that army against just only slingers is not going to probably not going to be in range.
So another Phantasmagoria in the middle here.
Yeah, that will be the end of the day, I think, for Green One. The kit is doing his best. But you know, when you say that, it often means that you are losing.
Yeah. So it looks like here, yeah, it's just a sea of blue in the middle, and that's going to be GG's well played.
Yeah.
So
Green One
what do you
is
think
a
about-
Chad, but
what was missing? So obviously we've seen this now without Poison Wind Globes, so we know that Poison Wind Globes are a staple in this matchup, right? What else was this army missing?
I think the Lord honestly is not really doing the job enough work.
Mm-hmm.
And well, he got pretty hard countered by more builds, to be fair. So it was hard to play, but I don't think the dogs like that are a good idea because first they can't fight the skirmish, and they have really low leadership. So if there's a Manticore charging at them, they rot instantly. So I'm not sure about the dogs too.
Yeah, I think also the poison variant. Like you could maybe I don't think there's any justification for the wolf rats. Maybe.
Like if you play something static, you can take like 1 or 2 just as a backline guard. But if you play mobile, it's pretty hard to to justify them, I think.
So Tzeentch skirmish cavalry 850, 630, and 850. Horsemasters 600, 600, and 800. So they actually out-traded the Marauder Horsemasters, which is very interesting. But of course, you only have 3 marks of grace because Azazel takes 1. So if you went Bellicor and you went 4 units of the Marauder Horsemasters of Tzeentch, would you say that's a pretty good? Would you say that's a pretty good way to go, or would you rather use your marks in a different way? Would you rather bring Hellstriders?
No, I think the skirmish is better.
Okay.
Like it's more versatile against Skaven.
Hey. What's up, guys?
Hey. So, Green One, explain your plan. Go through us. Tell us what was happening.
Well, everybody knows Global Leaders works, and it works really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to mix some kind of hit and run, basically.
Yep.
But I couldn't hit, so I only could run. It was really hard. I didn't expect the 6 skirmish cavalry. Also, the Tzeentch one I found really good because of the barrier, of course.
Yes.
We
We did talk about that.
I have been outtraded every single moment in the game by those skirmish. And also the Phantasmagoria, I didn't see that coming. Was huge.
Yeah, I thought that was really good from more there.
Yeah.
How do you feel with the so we had the conversation between Marauder Horsemasters versus the Horsemen of Tzeentch. So of course, they do more damage with that reduction to armor, reduction to fire resistance. And then also they have the shield, so they're quite hard to skirmish against. Do you find them which do you hate playing against the most?
Yeah, the Tzeentch one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they are better. Well, depends on what do you want. If you want to do a game like that, I mean, with 6 skirmish cav, trying to pick things and run and stuff like that, they are far better, I guess. But if you want something like just go into a defense line or something like that, I guess the horse masters are better.
So more. Let's get your thoughts. Let's go through the build. What did you like? What didn't you like?
In my build,
Mm-hmm.
well, I think really my build was pretty much based on the Razel's build. I just tried to make it even better. What I don't like about my build is that Azazel is very fragile. So if he dies, my whole plan fails. And he has only 5 armor, so he is prone to dying pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a lot of mobility, so unless I fall into some kind of trap-like frames, I don't think he should die.
The nice thing also with Azazel is that he actually brings a net that you don't have with the other characters that we've seen so far.
Yeah. A net and a very, very big morale debuff.
Exactly. Yeah. With Terra, the ability, and then also Phantasmagoria being, 45 negative leadership, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. Exactly.
Does anybody else from the talking panel, anybody else have any things that they liked, disliked?
Zazel on the paper looks well, but it's quite risky, and you have to be really careful if you want to play him.
So here's a question, more. You brought the chariots, so we know chariots are still bugged at this moment. Talk us through your idea of the chariots. You're the first one to bring them. What was the idea there?
Well, I have a lot of skirmish, so I should be able to take out rat ogres. And if there are no more rat ogres, remember my goal is to kill the globadiers. The
Yes.
fastest way to do that is to plow through the line and just reach those globadiers with chariots. Even if they're bugged, I still think they have potential to disrupt.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking after. I really want to just disrupt.
I mean, the bug is not affecting the chariot ability to go through a front line and reach the globadiers. It hurts when you try to
Yeah.
make when to
Make a
rear charge
recharge from the rear.
flank charge. So which you won't do with you want to do globadiers, so it's fine.
So good,
Yeah, exactly.
good question from Muckluck. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well today. So quick question is, obviously a lot of the focus today has been on the Poison Wing Globadiers. So how about the Death Globadiers? Do they have a place here? Are they too expensive? What's your thoughts?
They deal more damage, but it's not needed to deal that much damage.
Mm-hmm.
And also, they are way more expensive.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a bit of an unnecessary upgrade in a way.
It's a
Okay.
waste.
Yeah, it's overkill.
Okay. So hopefully that answers the question there, Muck. Like, it seems to be that the gents here think that the 550 model compared to the 900 is a more cost-efficient way of doing the job that needs to be done. Okay, so how about Hanadins? You move in here. More, you haven't played Skaven yet. I always like watching you play Skaven. Hanadins, you bring the Warriors of Chaos. How about that?
I will have to go for maybe half an hour or an entire hour. So if I don't see you back then, have just a good evening, I guess, or a good day.
Thank you very much, Razor, for joining us. I appreciate
No,
that.
it's fine, actually.
It's Rem.
Oh, is it Rem? Sorry, I see Razor talking. Sorry.
No, I'm there for.
No, it's just coughing.
Oh, thank you very much, Rem. Thank you very much for joining us.
See you.
See ya.
Um,
Alright, so leave this.
Right, so if Green One joins us on the cast,
I am waiting to. Wait.
should be a spot open now.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So we're gonna get more. You like your Vampire Counts and your Skaven, isn't that right? That's correct.
No, it's not. I never play Skaven, but that's fine.
Oh, I thought you liked your Skaven. Okay, interesting.
No.
Well, we're very interested to see what you do here then. All right, so if Hanadins and more, if you two deafen up, me, Green One, and Razor will have a little chat.
That's fine.
Cheap, wide seems best. Yeah, pretty much, Mark. Like, yeah, it seems to be that what we've seen from today is that with Skaven, it is being cheap and wide. Basically, the infantry is dealt with the Poison Wing Globadiers. These boys do, the little globe boys do quite well. Also, they're pretty tanky, 100 armor. They're really, really cheap for what they bring, for sure.
They're also a very good screener against the skirmish cav actually.
Yeah, because they have, what, 90 range?
Globs have 80.
Oh, 80 range.
No, 85.
Yeah,
So,
85 range, yeah.
The Armasters have more because they have 90, but all the other skirmish have less, so it's pretty nice.
Imagine it can be... I imagine it could be quite easy to dodge the Globadiers, no?
Yeah, but like if only one glob hits, you still get the poison
Oh,
effect.
you get the poison effect, yeah, of course, yeah.
So it's pretty easy to get free damage even if you try to dodge really hard.
So it looks like we're going to be going with the Gracier. And it looks like we're going to be going with the Gracier Plague. No Ruin here, perhaps. I think Moore is deciding if he wants to go to Ruin or Plague. Do you guys have a preference and why?
I prefer Plague because you get more summons.
Okay.
I think like since your glob are doing all the damage, you just want more infantry to buffer the front line and fill up the space when there is a hole in your formation.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I will have said the same, but the 13 spell is quite good.
So
I really like.
going from Chaos, we've had a couple of discussions around the Lord choices. So today we've seen Sartorial, we've seen Be'lakor, and we've seen Azazel. Do you have a preference of which you think is best?
Oh, by the way, the Sartorial did around 3,000 damage, and Be'lakor did 3,300, I remember.
Yes.
So I was surprised. I mean, yeah, it was very close on value damage, but I know Be'lakor can heal and stuff like that and remove the immune to psychology. So it finally, I mean, at last it's better. But it was surprise. It was a surprise for me to see how Sartorial performed that game.
Yeah, it was very good.
I think for me, with Sartorial, the gents before were complaining about Sartorial not. I mean, he has some good missile. Oh no, he doesn't have missile resistance anymore.
Yeah.
Just
Oh.
physical now. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
they changed it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought he had good physical missile resistance. Shows how much I know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so Be'lakor brings physical and missile resistance on his plate. So he has 45% missile resistance in total, plus also slightly more armor. And for me, healing plus the damage resistance. I think for me, I think Be'lakor for me is my favorite in this matchup. But what do you guys think?
It's my favorite too. Like Azazel is a good idea, but it's like more risky. Be'lakor can do the same thing kinda.
Mhm.
The leadership debuff is a bit less strong, but it's still very good. And it's enough against Skaven actually, because like 40 plus leadership debuff is like a bit overkill against Skaven actually. You don't even need it.
So, this is awesome. This is perfect. So it looks like Moore is going to go for the other choice that I like as well. So he's going to go for the Natty Bobo sharp shooters. So this is another piece. So there was 3 bits of artillery that I was interested in. The first one was the Ikit Zap Zap cannon. The second one was the Teeth Breakers, which was brought as well. And then we have the Natty Bobos. I think all 3 of them are pretty decent. What are the Natty Bobos? Tell people at home, what do they give that the other 2 don't?
But to be honest, I'm not very comfortable playing those kind of things. Only the Globadiers, because they are good. I mean, if you charge the Globadiers with doubles and stuff, with only 1 volley, you can make them rout. But with the Natty Bobos and stuff and the Rattling, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how...
The Giselle give a lot of damage. Like their damage is pretty insane.
Mm-hmm.
And they have long range, so it's really good. The problem is that they are really hard to protect.
Yeah.
Because they take a lot of space in the formation, so it's really hard to keep them compared to like the Warp Lightning Cannon.
Okay. I mean, the nice thing for the Natty Bobos is that they, of course, they have Stalk and Snipe, so you can't see them. So it can be hard to lock on magic with them, but you could take a rough guess.
It's not hard to dodge the bullet. When you see where it come from, it's not really hard to dodge it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Also, it's very funny because at least every Chaos build, doesn't matter how DLCs came out, it relies on the skirmish calf and singular entities. It's really funny because it's just the same play style since I met the Chaos Warriors. Even against this.
My game just crashed, so sorry, so I'll be back.
No problem. No problem. Yes, there we go.
But
So
I like
we
build.
saw an interesting build there. We actually saw from Hanadins and Chaos, we saw the Regiment of Renown spawn, which comes with Terra, which is quite an interesting pick as well. If you're going to go for that spawn strategy, do you think bringing the spawn with Terra is good, or do you think it's just a waste of extra money?
No, I think it's a decent idea. It's pretty hard to kill, and it has armor debuff too, which
Yes.
is pretty nice for
As
the other
the
units.
armor sundering, yeah.
So why not? I would say.
Okay.
But
of
it still
course,
does quickly to globs.
There was obviously I've done a lot of streams with Alfredinho, and his idea. So if we take Swordsman from the Empire, and then you take the Regiment of Renown, right? His opinion is if you take the Regiment of Renown compared to the regular, the Regiment of Renown dies all the same as the regular, right? But you just pay more money for it. So if we apply that same knowledge here with Spawn paying extra money up against the Regiment of Renown. Of course, they still only have 10 armor. I believe they gain physical resistance, which is not much, but...
They have the barrier, which is pretty nice.
Oh, of course, yeah, they also come with barrier. I did... Oh, of course, yeah, they are the...
So that plus the physic resist make them pretty good. Like they resist pretty well against the first...
I couldn't see my games against Razer, but how the Globadiers deals against the Spawn?
They kill them now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because the missile damage is far better than in game 2, so like it takes a bit of time, but you kill them too. That's why it's easier for Skaven to play the matchup.
So here's another question as well. So we also we brought the, I forgot that of course there's Zinch. I forgot that they're the Zinch variant. Is it worth a Mark of Grace? Mark of Chaos?
For which unit?
The Regiment Renowned spawn.
I would say it's better to get the skirmish because they're extremely strong.
That was my thought as well. I'm actually thinking in this matchup, I actually think Marauder Horsemasters, I think you're paying for too much, I think.
Yeah, if you really want to get 6 cav, you can still take them. Their damage is still really good, but...
I actually think 4 units of Marauder Horsemasters of Zinch could actually just be fine.
Yeah, it can be enough, I think.
And it looks like he's actually going to go with the Chaos Sorcerer of Zinch Magic, so he's going really cheap, 1450 there. And it looks like he's going to need a disc, so he's going to have good speed. Just the blue fire, the Sword of Change, that's really cost efficient. Really cost efficient. Blue fire will pay for itself like you've never seen. So, you know, we're going to expect 2,500 from this Lord that's costing 1,400.
Oh, more changes build a lot, actually.
So Moore is going to have double Doom Flares. That's a very interesting pick. Gracier Plague, Vermintide, Dread of 13th, pretty good spell. Warpstone Scroll, which we didn't see before, which actually I quite like that. That's the pin. And we're actually going to have Warp Grinders. Not something we've seen so far, but of course they have that net ability, that seismic snare, and then they also have Warp Quake, which can be, you know, can be pretty decent up against mass infantry.
But the build is a bit strange in my opinion, because like the Doomflayers and the Globs are all anti-infantry.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really see the need for Doomflayers if you already have 4 Globs.
Yep.
Because I think you can already like nuke any infantry with...
Yeah, 2 overkill.
Yeah, so I don't think you really need them, but...
Okay. Okay. That's
And
very interesting.
I would like to see, I don't know how big it is, the basic trolls for Chaos.
Oh, the 800 trolls?
Yeah, I would like to see them.
Armored Chaos Trolls with regen.
No, I don't know. Maybe the basic one could be good. I don't know.
So
the
one thing that I think that people really sleep on is the armored ones. Armored Chaos Trolls with regen also come with more leadership. So they have higher leadership, they have regen, and they're tankier. I actually really think Armored Chaos Trolls are slept on, but maybe regular Chaos Trolls could be good in this matchup. But could they not get skirmished?
They could, but you can screen pretty easily. Like you have your skirmish, you have the marauders, you have the dogs. So I think it's fine.
Okay.
And like actually, for trolls getting skirmished, as long as it's not a lot of firepower, it's fine because with the regen you can negate part of the damage. So
just looking at the armies, who do you think has the upper advantage right now?
I would say Nodin.
Hanadins. Okay.
Yeah, I would say Chaos too.
I think the blue fire is pretty good against Doomflyer too. I think he can kill the models.
I think it's going to be really good against the Gracier as well.
Yeah, also.
So
he has the spam summon, right?
Yeah.
No mistake.
So the question is, why the Warp Grinders?
Well, actually, I don't know because like the only range unit he has are globs, except the slingers, but it's whatever. And he doesn't really need to net something because the net range is shorter than the globe range. So maybe you just want to trap something going in, like let's say there's Melakor and Azazel, you can trap it. But yeah, I don't really know actually, because he doesn't really have burst damage. So even if he nets it, it's not like he can really kill it. He has not no Warp Lightning, no Jezzail. So I don't know.
Okay, and then we're also going to be having the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. Just, I assume, for the melee stats, the fire resistance is probably... Actually, no, that actually might not be too bad if you've got some skirmish cavalry. And then we've got 2 slingers, which I've seen the 2 slingers are just to keep the cavalry in check, the skirmish cav.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he used the grinders more like the mind game, just instead of the functional pick.
Right.
Because, something that nets you in the middle of the formation when you go in, I don't know. Maybe more of like the mind game, just not to push too much.
Well, the Quake effect... the quake effect is quite a lot of damage per second. It's quite a lot of damage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's certainly a bold pick. We'll have to see. But I like this build, really wide from Chaos. I think Chaos really thrives by being super wide in this matchup.
Yeah, I think it's better. And I like that he only took Marauders. I disagree with more that you need a lot of infantry because they do nothing actually.
The infantry in this matchup, yes, do nothing. I mean, they are necessary in the way that they obviously distract the Globadiers and they keep your opponent busy on the front line. And that's where the dogs really come into fruition. They can really get in the back and start causing havoc. Maybe that's what the Doom Flayers are for, to deal with the dogs.
Maybe actually, like they have the anti-infantry damage, so they can kill them pretty fast. But like that makes 2,200 just to kill the dogs. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, they also get plus 24 armor when engaged in melee, so they're not really going to take too much damage, but they could get skirmish here. I mean, the Marauder Horsemasters of Tzeentch, negative armor, they're going to skirmish them. Could be painful, like you said, for 2,200 gold.
Yeah, you don't really need to take care of the infantry. You're going to win the infantry game with this Skaven at some point. So yeah, I mean, maybe it's overkill. But let's see how they perform. I guess killing a skirmish in melee too would be good. I don't know.
Can do good against Skaven melee, but
yeah, you're not going to use the skirmish in melee. At least at the beginning of the...
Yeah, at least at the beginning you won't, yeah. I think a bit of an early unload there from the Blue Fire. I mean, that's all you've got, I guess, but would have been better down the line there at the Poison Globadiers. But we do lose 5 models. Pretty good. Bit of a strange surround here, so not much going for the front, but we've definitely gone for both sides. He's gone for a bit of a sandwich approach here.
He took them into the ogres, the rat ogres too.
Nice. So what are we trying to achieve here with Moore? Moore's moving to the left-hand side of the map. Why is he doing that?
I will have to go into the infantry. Just trying to ripping some parts of the formation, trying to pick some things. You're not able to pick the skirmish, so I will try to pick the infantry.
So for those at home, you can see here the Poison Globe damage at the front is very, very good. 12 to 25 damage per second here. I'm not too sure. How long does that last?
Wait. Just I have no idea actually.
I don't know. It doesn't tell you.
Let's just say it lasts enough to to get really good.
You can see 2 volleys have taken them down below half health now, and the Marauders are looking pretty bullied.
The Grinder's coming against the Chariots, but yeah, the Chariots left the battle.
Yeah, I guess that's a really good screening tool. Obviously, you come in with the Chariots, you can pin down with the Warp Quake. It's as you said, a really, really good mind game.
Yeah, Blue Fire is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yet I think he should be more active. Like he has a really good spawn summon if he wants. In the middle of the 2 Globadiers.
Yeah, he rip apart the formation.
Yeah,
now
so
he's
now into the pocket. He's now compromising the Winged Globadiers, and we haven't seen many summons yet coming forward from Moore.
But like he's not really used to playing Skaven, so sometimes it's hard to remember all the.
Maybe he wants to save it.
Timings.
And now we're in close enough here. You can see the Marauder Horsemasters are pretty much knocking on the front door. They're going to be shooting up against the majority of the Skaven here, getting the Slingers, hitting the Rat Ogres, and then also the Globadiers.
Yeah, I think Moore has to close a bit the formation. Like he's
yes,
get his right side and left side together.
He's certainly fighting on 2 fronts here. The Spawn are in as well now, which is really scary, especially the Regiment of Renown, because they'll arm asunder your Globadiers, and then your Globadiers will fall really quickly.
Yeah, and it's getting really hard now because all the routing units can just get chased.
But this is what the wide build from Chaos does, right? You know, you have attacks coming from a 360-degree angle, and you can't fill every hole as the Skaven.
Yeah, the Doomflayer, they're not getting a lot done actually.
Yeah.
Like 200 value.
Yeah,
which is-
they're trying.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they take a
Stuff.
lot of micro. They certainly take a lot of micro to get their use from.
Yeah, and Chaos has so much mass in this build that it's really hard actually for them to move.
We see in the back corner here as well. We see we have a unit of the Rat Ogres and Clan Rats in the backside. So that's about a good value there on the left-hand side of the battlefield.
And do you think chariots for the Chaos side are necessary, or yes?
I think not. I think that maybe one is nice. I don't think they're like necessary though. Would be my personal opinion. I don't know what you guys think.
I think one is nice as a mind game actually. Like
Yes.
you always have to take care of it so that it not it doesn't disturb like free globs. But
I think
I think-
you're going to lose the infantry fight. So having one is good, but I think they're problematic against Rat Ogres. They're also problematic against Grey Seer Plague or any nets or anything like that may come forward. So Globadiers in the backside getting compromised here by the Marauder Horsemen.
Yeah, very good job.
yeah, I think he has no globe left, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's the
The
last
globes
one.
are good.
Oh, we have one globe in the left side, protected by Rat Ogres.
I can feel the Morse pen getting isolated with the with the
Yeah,
rat
yeah.
ogres. Very
Yeah,
hard to see.
basically all he has left is the Lord and the Doomflayers. But
Yeah.
like it would be hard to. He still has some summons.
Playing for the
Well, the globes here are going to be firing up against the Chaos Warhounds. That's pretty close to the edge. Maybe we could get some breaks here. It's certainly possible.
Yeah, dogs are out, probably. But he's losing the last globes.
Yeah. That's pretty tough there. Rat Ogres are going to get into the back, but I think it's going to be a little bit too late, I think.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
the-
they're already beat up.
The Singe Lord in the Disco party, is he good on melee or?
No, he's not.
Sorry.
Good.
No. He's 48 on 44. He's not terrible. He's not terrible. But
No, but his weapon strength is really low. So
yes, yeah. His weapon strength is pretty low, but he can fight. Like, he won't die immediately.
Yeah, I guess the barrier makes him good, and
Yeah,
the spells.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
But you can see
Yes.
even now from the side of the Chaos, they're also dwindling down now on numbers. The Warhounds are getting low, leadership's not strong there. Horse Masters are
Yeah.
also looking low. Chariots. If you can keep... Well, Storm Vermin Howard have been summoned.
Yeah.
I thought he brought the Regiment of Renowned Storm Vermin.
no, I don't think he took them.
Oh, okay. Do you think they're a must-pick, the Regiment of Renown with the Grey Seer Plague?
Must pick, I don't know. I think it's really nice, honestly, to have them. Like it gives a bit more physical resist to your Lord,
Mhm.
and like Chaos actually doesn't take many AP in this matchup,
Yeah.
so they're pretty durable. I would say it's really good.
Oh. Ooh, Hanadin's just about to get us away with that.
You saw that, yeah.
So the one thing is, Grey Seer Plague is still looking healthy-ish, but that I think that's probably
Nah.
it.
Yeah, and
I know
it
this one, he needs-
rare spawn.
So,
Yeah, that's something.
so I'm saying here, like 360 for one chariot, 390 for the other. They did get a few hundred kills, but I just think 2 is too many. I think. Like at this
Yeah.
stage of the game, what do they do now? There's no use for them here on the field.
Yeah. Yeah, and like
Well,
if Skaven keeps a close formation, they are far less useful.
Mhm.
They can make a race, and see who's faster.
So let's have a look. So let's see what we got. One of the strange ones that we were thinking about here. So 450 and 330 from the Doomflares. The Doomflares out-traded the Chaos Chariots, but I'd be very interested to see what Maul's thoughts were behind that. 860 there for the Chaos Lord of Zinch. Interesting. Not actually that much value, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Blue Flare were missing a bit the flayers actually.
So we saw nothing really from the front line. One got 380 from the Chaos. Dogs did pretty well, 300 across the board. Horsemasters Zinch 750, 1,800 and 700 for the Horsemasters. I think in general the Mortal Horsemen of Zinch actually just keep up with Horsemasters. I really don't hate seeing 4 Horsemasters of Zinch. I really don't. 1,700 for the spawn and 880 for the Chaos spawn. And you can see the spawn. You can even see, like, with the shield, the physical resistance, the Regiment of Renown actually did really well here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a lot of HP left.
Rat Ogres, 580, 130, 300, 300. That's the worst we've seen the Rat Ogres perform so far. I think that's because they got pulled around quite a bit, right?
Yeah, they got pulled apart and too much shooting.
They were having to fight a lot of fights that you didn't really want them to fight. Maybe that's partly to do with the Doomflares, perhaps. But the front line, yeah, pretty standard. And 480 there for the Warp Grinders. And the boys here. So Mr. Moore, we'll start off with you. A couple of interesting picks there. With the Warp Grinders and the Doomflares. Talk to us about your plan.
Well, I wanted more mass, so I picked the Doomflayers. I think they did the job decently, just holding. The Warp Grinders, kind of the same idea. I wanted to prevent a big dive, so I had the nets ready in case of some, I don't know, if Bellacourse or something just dives in, I can net him and then kill him with Rat Ogres. But I was really, really lacking some long-range firepower. That's the big mistake in my build.
Yes,
is that only have short range.
I did see that you were looking at taking the Regiment of Renown Natty Bobos, but you went against them.
Yeah.
Was that just for the Hellflyers there?
Yeah, because I figured I had too much ranged and I needed more stuff to protect them. But I should have really cut the stingers and brought some Natty Bobos or even just simple warp cannons or anything long range.
Okay. Anything else that you thought didn't quite go your way? What did you find difficult about the matchup? What do you think went well?
Well, obviously I'm not a Skaven player, so I just had trouble playing Skaven. But yeah, especially placing my summons and such was hard because I had a defensive build and I had to rush with it, so that was my mistake. And so that was hard because I needed to run after him. And he was faster than me, so he could just surround me and then take the engagement on his terms, and that's obviously very bad for me.
Okay, so if we talk to Hanadins, love the build, the widest one we've seen so far, really cheap caster lord that with great mobility. Go through your ideas.
Well, my first idea was just to play something different than what we saw earlier.
Okay.
So yeah, I wanted people to see the Tzeentch sorcerer in action. Even though I thought about bringing something else, but I'm not sure if it would have been the Chaos sorcerers on a dragon would have been the more efficient unit.
Okay.
It showed that ROR Chaos spawns are also good. You can consider them as well in that matchup.
Yeah,
if you don't want to take Manticores
we considered that, and I actually really like the pick because it has added physical resistance, the shield, so it has a bit more utility against the skirmish plane.
I was happy to have a terror bomb on my left flank. And the interesting thing about what I did, I think, is not only the build, but the way I played it. Like, I had 2 really strong flanks. So, in fact, nothing in my front line. In the middle. So what I want to, while I do that, is I want to open a bit of space in my opponent formation. So actually, the middle of this formation became, I can find some gaps here because he has to move units to counter my flank. And finally, his middle of the formation becomes his flank, since you have space here. And that was a bit of the goal of it, and I think it worked well. And interestingly enough, it's not against Skaven that I first used that, but it's against Dwarf with Norska.
Right, so I think we've been through quite a bit here so far. So for the guys at home, as we've been going, talk through some of the ideas that we've gone through. So what are some of the staple units you feel Chaos has to have to make this matchup work for them?
Well, I think we all agree that Skirmish Cav is the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The skirmish cav, also really surprised about the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Doing a great job. And as I thought, you don't need too much infantry, so just take a cheap infantry, skirmish, doggos, good lord choice, not trying to to take Archaean place. And and I don't know, it's they are good. You have to play slowly,
Yep.
trying not to make mistakes in your skirmish cav, and try to open the formation, and that's all I think.
Yeah, just if you want to play rush in general, keep in your head that the better rush is not the fastest one. It's the better engage. Like you have to engage everything at a single time or at a short amount of time, rather than just running all your army straight to the opponent, because it's probably not the things to do if you want to win the game.
Okay, so we've probably got time for one more if you guys have got time for it. One question I had for you guys for the Warriors of Chaos: how do you feel about armored Chaos Trolls?
I want to see them.
You know what? Go ahead, Kenwan. I don't think you played Chaos yet. Oh, you played them in
it was
the
the first
first
time
game.
play.
Yeah, you played them in the first game. But you know what? Go ahead.
I tried it.
I will have to go though, so
No problem.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Okay, quick.
I mean only.
I can still play.
Yeah. Okay.
If any two can play, we can do one more for sure.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Great. So yeah, thanks for the stream logic and.
No, thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for the stream logic.
Thank you very much.
And good luck for the last game.
Yeah, have fun, good one with Chaos Troll. Yeah! Do the job, man!
I want to see them doing good.
Yeah,
I'll try.
I don't know with the gloves, but
Yeah, it could be playing, but I will try.
Yeah, it could be interesting. It could be interesting for sure.
Well, thank you, Logic, and see you next time.
Thank you very much, guys. Take care of yourselves.
Thanks. See you.
Well, I'll mute up, gents, and then you guys can talk if you like. So we're going to go into the final one. If you guys have any questions, do feel free to let me know. Hey, Wellbeater, how you doing? I only take grinders in block fights. Yes, yeah, that makes sense. It looks like Valkyria could be... I actually think Valkyria could be an insane option. Her Spear of Safranir is really powerful. But it does mean you need to take a caster Lord alongside that. Chaos Trolls for me could be interesting. They're not super slow, but their leadership is problematic, that's for sure. Yeah, that is a problem, is their leadership. But they do have regen, they have good armor, and if you got them around the flanks and you got them in uncompromised, maybe they could do some stuff. It's possible. I think maybe 2 is enough. You don't need to do so many. One thing we certainly worked out about Skaven is the presence of Globadiers and Rat Ogres. That there is extremely necessary. You need some level of long range, like the Warp Lightning Cannon. And it seems that a Glacier Plague or a Glacier Ruin seems to be the idea moving forward. I like that they have the Wartstone Scroll. I also like having the ability to net characters in the sky, shoot them with the Teeth Breakers, shoot them with the cannons, or shoot them with the Natty Bobos. Certainly is... how are Lizardmen nowadays? Lizardmen are meh. They're okay. In land battles, they're okay. Today we're going to be focusing up on Warriors of the Chaos vs Skaven, but if you guys have any other matchups you'd like to see, do feel free to let me know. So, looks like Natty Bobos are going to be brought, the Regiment of Renown Hell Pit Fighters, and then we are going to have 3 units of the Rat Ogres. Cheap Skaven Infantry, including Clam Rats, and then Double Doom Flayers again. So we're going to go again for the Double Doom Flayers. On this side, we have Mortal Horsemasters, the Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch. What are Chaos Chariots good for Skaven? Against what? So, the Chaos Chariots here, and I think probably 1 is enough. Gruts, I think it would be... The Chaos Chariots would be good up against their... So, if you take Skaven, a lot of their missile infantry. So, if they take like Gutter Runners, they could be a good counter there. And then, as Chaos, you are going to lose the front line. You are going to lose the front line thanks to the Poison Wind Globes, so you're going to use those chariots to clean out the rest of the infantry force coming forward from Skaven. So I think 1 would be good here, for sure. And for Chaos, it looks like he's really struggling for money. Oh, he's going to go with the double Hell Cannon strats. Okay, we haven't seen any Hell Cannons as of yet. They could be very interesting. Cheap Lord of Tzeentch, Infernal Gateway Blue Fire, really powerful. Big fan of that. Sorry, I meant Doom Flares for Doom Wheels. Moore's explanation. So Moore's not a Skaven player, but the Doom Flayers here, I don't personally understand this. I would rather put this money into something else. I would probably rather bring the Regiment of Renowned Infantry. I'd rather bring the Council Guard, bring the physical resistance for the Gracia Plague. Or some other level of range. So I'd maybe bring Council Guard and a unit of Natty Bobos or something like that for some long distance. I really like the artillery with the Warp Lightning Cannon. The Ikit's Zap Zap is really good because it also has the debuff ability on that cooldown for spells, etc. But I think here Doom Flares just for a bit of mass, bit of infantry. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it in this matchup, especially against all of this. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting for sure. So I think for the majority of what we worked out today is this is relatively heavily Chaos favored because they have more options and more variance in the way that they can play. But for Skaven, this is certainly winnable. This is certainly a winnable matchup. We can see Poison Wind Globes, Rat Ogres to protect them with some good mobility and mass. Warriors of Chaos have that mass option for terror. Yeah, I think this is certainly a doable matchup. We can see Natty Bobos have been selected now. Yeah, I'm a fan of that. I think you need some level of long range. The way the Natty Bobos and the Globadiers are going to suffer in this matchup, as we'll see now from the Hell Cannon, will be interesting. I'm ready when you gents are.
Yeah, let's go.
But yeah, if you guys have any questions, do feel free to let me know. This is going to be the final game of today. But hopefully, this is the first time we're doing this, by the way, for those that are new here. This is the first kind of breakdown of a matchup we're going to do. So we'll have other matchups coming forward. We'll try and see if we can refine it a little bit more as well to try and get a little bit more information out there for all of you. But yeah, so far, a big fan of the Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch, big fan of the Horsemasters as well. I think they're very, very good here in this matchup. Cheap Infantry, I think the Chaos Warhounds were quite crucial in the matchup as well. Are really good at chasing off broken units. Quite like Bellicor. I thought Azazel was pretty decent. Feels weak to skirmish because the globes outrange one. Giselle can't cover them. Skirmish Cavalry is not to deal with the range Gruts. The Skirmish Cavalry is to deal with the Rat Ogres. So Rat Ogres don't have much armor. So the Skirmish Cavalry of Chaos is to basically delete the Rat Ogres before the Rat Ogres can kind of counter anything else. So the Rat Ogres are there for mass. They're depending on things like manticores, big lord choices, especially for chaos, also chaos chariots. So the horse masters are there to bring mobility to the match, but then also deal with the rat ogres. They're not here to delete the poison wing globadiers. Poison wing globadiers will be taken down by magic, and then also flying lords such as the chaos lord of Tzeentch. So on one hill you're going to have one hell cannon, on the other hill you're going to have the other. There we go. So both on either side. This is going to be an interesting one. I think here immediately they're going to try and challenge the poison wing globes. Once the globes are down, it's less about the infantry then. So also the skirmish is there to deal with the front line and to kind of weaken as much as the front line of Skaven as you can. It's to get round and poke holes and just be a bit of an irritant, as you will. But today you've seen, this will be now the 5th matchup where you'll be seeing quite a variety of game style plays that hopefully you'll see where the strengths and weaknesses are from both sides in this matchup. Yeah, so if you bring in sort of 6 skirmish cavalry, which I think is pretty powerful, 4 dogs, chaos trolls, we're just trying it here to see how it goes. But you certainly want like 5-ish infantry, just the regular marauders are fine. And then a good lord choice plus terror. Always goes really far, really far. So you can see the Gracier Plague in the front. Probably looking to maybe get some spells off. We do actually have, there's only one use for the Wartstone Scroll, but that negative 45% speed plus like rattling guns, etc. could be really good because we also have that suppressed. So you can get like 78% negative there on speed, which could be really good at kind of like pinning in flying lords or manticores in the sky, and then just blasting them out of the sky is really powerful. So Natty Bobo's in the middle, so we've got to be really careful. And that's the nice thing about Natty Bobos with that stalk. They could really counter skirmish up against the Broader Horsemen. But of course Tzeentch have those barriers, so it's going to be really difficult to fight there. The Horsemasters coming forwards. And now we see the artillery shooting straight off the rip. And lovely hit there up against the Globadiers. Take cover is going to be given at -8, plus also a reduction on leadership thanks to the artillery firing. But we're going to see immediately 2 models dead out of the rip. And Poison Wing Globadiers are, you know, a win condition here for the Skaven. So you can see as Moore's going to move over to the left-hand side, we have 1 infantry on either side, and we're going to have to try and skirmish the front line down as much as possible. And Rat Ogres are going to be diving forward, so we really need to deal with these Rat Ogres. Only 30 armor for them. Doom Flares are probably also going to be quite important to get to the backside. Chaos Warhounds aren't going to offer too much, but the Chaos Trolls might. They have good mass, regen, lovely armor piercing, they could do some good work. In the middle, you can see good damage on the Poison Wing Globes. That's going to be Blue Flame down the line. Shot here up against the second one. Lovely damage there on the HP with 5 models getting reduced. Lord Choice coming over. Now we do actually have the Dread of 13th spell, which is an explosion spell. Nice hybrid on the Hell Cannon. You see the Hell Cannon crew runs away because you see the Gracier coming across, which I think is really smart there from the green one, because then you can't get that explosion on the artillery crews. In the sky, we're going to be running away. See, Natty Bobos might be able to get a couple of shots here on the Chaos Lord. But we're going to be in sniping range now of this Hell Cannon. But you drop the crew off, and then you bring this crew back onto the other one, and hopefully you can do the work. We do see Armored Chaos Trolls coming across to kind of push back the Gracier Plague. In the back, Skirmish Cavalry has gone a little bit too far. Definitely want to see that Skirmish Cavalry. There we go. You can see it's now coming in a little bit. Certainly going to be skirmishing into the backside of this army. Now, for the Tzeentch, we do actually have the Tzeentch Flamestorm. Definitely want to see a Flamestorm in the middle, reducing these Poison Wing Globes. So you can see the Hell Cannon crews here, the Chaos Dwarfs going to be getting away. Going to be shooting up against the Marauders, but they'll back off here just a little bit. And Skaven just has to push, but of course they've got 2 different angles to push. And now in the backside, we're now going to be firing here with the Marauder Horsemen. Now they're going to be taking down the infantry and just skirmishing here in the backside, being just a general irritant in total. On the flank, we see Armored Chaos Trolls coming over on the left, and Marauders coming round on the right. Skirmishing in the front, it's going to be lots of free damage here on the Gracier Plague. And now we're going to get back onto the Hell Cannon. Really good awareness there from the green one. Lord Choice coming across, so you've got to be careful here of the 13th spell. you know, they'll certainly wreck that Hell Cannon rather quickly. So you kind of also got to wait for some of the spells. So, of course, if you're holding a Dreaded 13th in the backside, you're not using Vermintide. So we're going to get a fire here. We're going to get a shot off. Now I would probably dip away. Good damage on the Clan Rats. Going to be flying around. Bit of skirmish at the front. You can see skirmish here just taking down the Clan Rats. Not much that the Skaven can do about it. Natty Bobos can certainly shoot over here on the side, but of course that shield from the Tzeentch Horsemen is going to be quite decent. Definitely want to have the Horsemasters shooting in. Definitely want these a little bit more active in the backside. Hell Cannon going to be firing in the front. The Blue Flame coming downtown as well. That's going to be catching lots of the Globadiers in the middle. Lovely damage indeed. Hell Cannon firing in the pocket. Bit of a miss there, unfortunately. Hell Cannons are known to do that. These two on top of each other as well can be a bit of a mistake. Just one Globadier around the back here would certainly finish that off rather quickly. But you can see Skaven here is going to be 2,200 for the green one up against 900 for Maul. Maul certainly wants to get some more of those Vermintide summons pushing out. But you can see that the snipers are going to be slowly taking down the Hell Cannon here on the right hand side. Lovely damage there on the Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch. Those Poison Globadiers do some really good work. In the middle though, looks like we are going to get the Flamestorm of Tzeentch, one of the most beautiful spells in the game, I must say so. Natty Bobo is going to be feeling the full burst damage there of that spell. And you can see the Gracier coming back and forward here, and we actually have the Doom Flayers in the backside. Only one unit of the Marauders here to deal with these Doom Flayers. That could be a little bit interesting, because now they get in the back here on the Hell Cannon. One Hell Cannon is still going to be firing. I think you still need at least 4 members of crew to fire, I believe. But, you know, they're going to take down the Poison Wind Globadiers. Poison Winds, they actually do get a shot here on the Armored Chaos Trolls. That's a little bit unfortunate, but we should see some healing. Chaos Trolls going to be chasing up against the Doom Flayers. You probably want to pull those out now. In the middle, Armored Trolls just going to be moving around, trying to find those key locations. So pushing out the Clan Rats. Marauder Horsemasters should get some volleys off here. They'll do some pretty decent damage up against the Natty Bobos. 3 leadership left, not looking too great. In the backside, going to be breaking the infantry here with the skirmish. 3,200 going up against Maul's 1.5k. And, you know, maybe some damage coming in here as well. Doomflares in the back. We have Marauders fighting. Hell Cannon probably wants to pop away here. But we actually have the Poison Wolf Rats coming in the back here with some Armored Chaos Trolls. Skirmish now going to be firing up against the Gracier Plague. I think that's a great option here to take down the Lord Choice. 3,750 there for him. He has no healing. I think that's a really good way of playing this. And now we're just going to be bomb rushing over here. And the reason being, Hell Cannon's dead. So we're going to be moving over to the left-hand side to finish off the other Hell Cannon. Which means now we're kind of forced as Chaos to have to go in and deal with this. Now, Armored Chaos Trolls going up against the Rat Ogres. Both have armor piercing. It'll be a very interesting fight for sure. Want to be a little bit more careful here with the Marauder Horsemen. That's why you need to take care of these Rat Ogres. You need to take care of them rather quickly so they can't really bully your Armored Chaos Trolls. And then Chaos Trolls could do the remainder of the work here. One of the Poison Wind Globes in the middle looking rather low. 19 models here in the middle. One very full unit and the others also, yeah, so pretty decent damage there coming from the skirmish. Ammunition is getting pretty low here though. It is getting pretty low. So we can see the Gracier is going to move out. He's going to be a little bit of a sponge here actually for a lot of the throwing javelins, etc. But the nice thing about the Tzeentch variant is they do reduce armor there by 10, which means there's going to be more damage coming from the Horsemasters, etc. Blue Flame in the middle, that's going to catch 2 units here in the pocket. Quite nice Blue Flame indeed. And it looks like here we are going to back off with the Hell Cannon. Rat Ogres in the backside here with Clan Rats going to be chasing. And same here with quite a lot of the Skaven in the middle. Marauder's going to dive across, try and see if they can fight here. Sadly not going to be able to pull the cannon out, unfortunately. But we do see in the middle still some skirmish capabilities. Really want to see them shooting here up against the Rat Ogres. Really important that we take as many models down as possible. In the middle we have the Chaos Spawn Summon, which is going to come from the Lord Choice there to fight up against the Poison Wind Globadiers. A really good fight there in the middle. 5,200 for the Green One and Chaos, going up against 3k value for the Skaven. And so we have Marauder Horsemasters in the pocket and a summon of the Clan Rats. Skirmish Cab are guaranteed range stuff needed to protect deal. Honestly, I think Best thing is 3 or 4 dogs and rat ogres to hunt skirmish. Yeah, the problem with the skirmish is you kind of need to counter kite them. It's kind of really the way to play it, I think. Maybe 2 units. It's really tough in this matchup. You need to counter kite them, and you need to allow this box has well and truly been broken. This is where the chaos now is doing really well, and you can see this box in the middle now has been broken because they've been forced to go after 2 of the hell cannons. Good protection in the backside here. Definitely they're gonna have to try and fight for this hill at the top and hold it. Otherwise, we're gonna be back on the hell cannon. Storm Vermin in the backside. They got some good damage here on the Lord of Horsemasters. But for the majority, 6,800 up against 3,350 for more. He's just well and truly been pulled apart, which is what you can't really allow for the Skaven. They have to stay a really tight box in this matchup. And there we go. That's going to be the win. Very, very interesting stuff. Yes, it is a tough matchup for Skaven for sure. I still think the letdown is the Doomflayers. 500 there, 50 for the other ones. That's 2,200 value. That's not seeing much for me. 1,750 though for the Natty Bobo Sharpshooters. 500 for the Greyseer Plague. Rat Ogres, you can see, they got no value. They got pulled apart. And it's really hard. I mean, of course, Moore is a new Skaven player. But it's really, really hard, even for a top tier player, to have to use this very effectively. And the infantry is just not going to carry you. The Lord Choice went down. That was a pretty good play. 1,500 for the Lord of Zinch. 600, 340 there for the Hell Cannon. Not too much for the Chaos Trolls, but you can see the Skirmish Cavalry just paying dividends. Really, really good stuff. Really good stuff. Let's get the views here of the lads.
Yeah.
Hey, gents, how we doing?
Hey. What's up, man?
So let's start with Moore. Moore, how did it go? How did it feel?
Well, obviously not very good. I feel like really 6 Skirmish Cav is really the way to go for Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Hell Cannons didn't do much at the end of the day. They just forced me to move.
Yes.
But moving when you get shot by a 6 Skirmish Cav is really a dead sentence. So yeah, definitely 6 Skirmish Cav is a nightmare. And if I want to face that much range, I need a lot of long range myself. And if I take so much range and then I face a full-on rush, I die as well. So it's hard to get it right.
Yeah, and I think this is where we talked at the beginning, right? Where Skaven really suffer with Chaos having so much pickability, right? They can pick and select how they wish to play, and Skaven are always on the back foot depending on what they pick. So how do you feel now? You've used the Doomflayers twice. Would you recommend them or would you not?
I still think they have potential. Because they're additional mass and they hold up very, very well. But they're also very expensive, so
Yes.
probably not optimal.
Mm-hmm.
But I still feel like maybe one.
So I was thinking, to counter skirmish a lot of the cavalry, maybe just having more natty bobos or other elements like cannons and stuff like the warp lightning can be a good way of dealing with the skirmish cavalry, and that certainly protects your rat ogres, which are really important, a lot more.
Yes, but the problem is if I take too much, I don't have money.
You're also susceptible to quite a big push.
Yeah.
And also, here we go, the big brain play coming from the green one. Green one, how did you feel about the build?
Well, I remember the request in the chat about the Hell Cannon.
Yeah.
And I was talked before, it's more like the mind game.
Yes.
Because, yeah, you make the Skaven move, and when it's a defensive position and they have to move, you already won. Because he can make mistakes easily.
Yeah.
But finally relies on the skirmish, as he said. It's the main problem from to face with this Skaven. Also, yeah, you can try to beat the skirmish with the artillery, with the rattling guns, with the missiles, but you are if you bring something like that and you have to face a dreaded rush, a good rush, then you are I guess you are dead. So yeah, that's the problem.
So one thing I thought, and I noticed whilst watching the Chaos Trolls, the Chaos Trolls looked really awkward to use to a point where they looked kind of useless because their leadership is so low. If they take the wrong damage, they're screwed. So if you really think about this, take 3,000 gold out of the equation. Like the skirmish cavalry is such a problem for Skaven to deal with because that's what won the game, right? It's the skirmish cavalry that got in there with the good lord choice, good winds of magic. The artillery didn't get much value, but it dealt the damage against the Globadiers, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
So the thing,
it forced me to move again.
Yes, and also you saw with you there more. You seemed a little bit like you were trapped between a rock and a hard place, right? You were you wanted to go for both, and I see you tried to get the summon, the Storm Vermin summon on the artillery piece, but of course he could just draw that artillery piece away and then come back, and then you looked like really tough in a really hard spot there.
I was, definitely.
So I would say, like, from what we noticed today, having things like gutter runners that can shoot, or maybe even just some warlock Giselles that can take down skirmish cavalry models, even if it's just a couple of cheap ones to definitely deal with that skirmish, is really important there for the Skaven. Yeah, I think that as well as also having something in, like, so Rat Ogres is really good for the mass, but you also need something that can help protect the Lord, that can fight up against characters. Yeah, so I think, do you think summons, or do you think the Gracia Plague? So sorry, Gracia Plague or Gracia Ruin for the net?
I guess Plague and mixing 2 Globadiers and 2 Rattling Guns.
Yep.
Also, I know it's hard to protect, but mixing them with the Plague, with the Summons and Rat Ogres, could be maybe the better way to deal, because Rattling Guns, good to fight against the skirmish. Also, the Globadiers can shoot at least once if you make a mistake with their skirmish.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you only need 2, honestly, to beat the Chaos Infantry. I don't see a Chaos player bringing a bunch of Chaos Warriors or stuff like that. So I guess only 2 Globadiers are good. And then you have to, maybe you want to mix them with Native Boss, artillery, stuff like that to protect you from the skirmish. And I think you are good with that.
How do you feel about cheap Night Runners? So obviously we've seen a lot of Gutter Runners today. Why would you take Gutter Runners rather than Night Runners? Night Runners are 450 gold. They can fire whilst moving. Why would you take Gutter Runners, not Night Runners?
Because they are easy. I find they're more easy to play with them.
Okay.
I just personal play. I find them more easy to management.
Okay. Well, lads, I'm going to say thank you very much for playing today. Do you have any other statements you want to say in regarding to this matchup before you leave? Anything else that anybody at home should really know about this matchup?
No, I think there is still a lot to explore for everyone, because Warriors of Chaos changed so much.
Yeah.
So I think there is definitely room for improvement. You can still make your own build. You can still come up with your own strategies, and it might work. So continue looking for the good strategy, certainly as Skaven. And as Warrior of Chaos as well, there is so many possibilities. We didn't play like half of them.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah, and Be'lakor is really good, but I think the Singe lore it's the optimal way.
Mm-hmm. He's really cheap. Really cheap.
Yeah, really cheap, really good spells. The spawn summon. I think it's the optimal way to play it. And the 6 skirmish card. Yeah, you have to play that this. Where I mean, you can make with less than that, maybe 4, and try to focus more on singular entities and other stuff. But I think Also the Singe, the skirmish.
Yeah, very
Are the
good.
best. Yeah.
Yeah, they're my takeaway for today, I think. That's my main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys,
Totally.
thank you very much for playing today. I really appreciate all of you joining, all of you playing. I hope you had a good time.
We did.
And I would very much look forward to doing this again shortly with a different matchup.
Certainly.
Sure.
I will be down too.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for coming on, and I hope you have a good rest of the weekend.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
bro.
Cheers,
Thank you
guys.
for the game.
Well, thank you very much to ODM today. That was excellent of them to come in and play. I really, really do appreciate that. So I'll do a roundup. We'll do what to leave you with. So these are some leaving statements from me, from what I've noticed today with the guys. In regards to the matchup, I actually think if you're going to bring Skirmish Cavalry, I'm a huge fan of the variant for Tzeentch. The reason being, they have that barrier, so if they have a counter skirmish, they can take quite a bit of damage. Also, they do similar levels of damage in return. So reduction in armor, reduction with fire weakness with the flaming attacks. Plus, some units do have physical resistance in the Skaven roster. Some have quite a bit, especially a lot of those Skaven units. So having that magic damage is also quite prevalent in the matchup. Royal Horsemen, if we compare the stats, you can see the stats here in melee. It's pretty much green across the board. They have more armor, more health, higher leaderships, more range, more damage. Of course, that's going to be negated there by some of the effects you get from the Tzeentch Horseman, but you save 150 gold. So there's certainly something there that I would take away playing as Chaos. With Chaos, infantry, just the Marauders, really cheap, really cheerful, and they will be a pretty good distraction in regards to your infantry front line. It's going to keep the player busy with Skaven. Yeah, so I think today my favourite that I saw was Bellicor. I'm still going to stick with that. I think Bellicor was great, but if you really want the most cost-efficient Lord, if you're going pure cost efficiency, yeah, I agree. Chaos Lord of Tzeentch Magic is insane. He's insane value. Does he also come with summons? I can't remember if he comes with summons. Yeah, he gets a Chaos summon there. So, you could make him super cheap on a disc, make him really fast, bring 2 spells, Blue and Infernal Gateway. He's 1,600 gold with a summon. Like, it's absurd. It's absurd. I don't think you want Skirmish Cavalry in melee ever, unless chasing. Maybe the odd one. Yeah, so, well, the thing about Marauder Horsemasters is they can fight, right? They have good charge bonuses. They can fight in melee. You wouldn't want... It's more for the end game, right? It's more for the end game, them fighting in melee towards the end. Yes, you would skirmish use all of their range. I don't have any missiles. Oh, it looks like they have 2 less missiles as well. But Marauder Horsemasters will be better in the later stage of the game. So, yes, Mark, you're definitely right there. You're definitely right. But I think, Blue Fire is so good. Infernal Gateway is really good with that lots of armor piercing. So I think it's a really, really cheap way to go. I don't think many people have clocked on to how broken the Knights of Immolation are. Knights of Immolation, 1 model left. As long as they're flying, will never break. They will never break. They're absolutely insane. They're beyond insane. They are just incredibly powerful. Manticore's really cheap way for Terror. And another takeaway today is the Warhounds. Warhounds really cheap, good at compromising the back line, chasing units off. For Chaos, this is certainly the way you want to be playing, being nice and wide against Skaven. So something along this line. So if you took, say 2 of these. Oh, whoops. Yep. So you could take 4 of these, for example, if you wanted to, or you could drop one out and then take another Horsemaster. Chaos Lord again, we'll make him the same price. So make him Tzeentch, Tzeentch Magic, Blue Fire, So you've still got 1,500 gold left. So far, the build's already looking pretty decent, and you can kind of just add in whatever else you want towards the end. We've still got double Manticore, we've got Chaos Lord, 6 Skirmish, 4 of the Chaos Warhounds if you want that. Loads of Marauders as well. So you could bring whatever else you want on the side. Maybe some Spawn, wouldn't be terrible. 2 units of Spawn here would not be awful. You could just mix in whatever else you want. If you went 2 more units of Poison if you wanted to, and then you maybe drop an infantry or something, this would be a great army. I think little AP here. Old Omen. Also, I'm here. I'm actually not working on what he's doing. It's nice, man. Nice. So this is an army that we saw that was pretty decent. There was many variants that we've seen from today, but most of these units here will do pretty well in total. I'm quite a big fan of this build here. For Skaven, there's a couple of staples I feel like you have to bring. So the difference in the matchup is with Chaos is you could be quite fluid with what you bring. Skaven is not, you don't quite have that luxury. I really feel like the Regiment of Renown plus 3 other Rat Ogres is certainly the way you need to go. And I've seen 3 to 4 Poison Wind Globes is also quite important for the front line. Really good counter skirmish as well, in case your opponent, kind of switches off for a second. Maybe 2 of the, maybe 2 the Rattling Guns could be quite nice. Maybe the Warp Lightning Cannon as well. It has the nice ability effect here of Zap. I definitely think you go for the Gracier. I think if I had to make a choice, if you've got double Rattlins, I'm definitely going Plague, and we're going double Summon. So you're going Vermintide and Dreaded 13th. Warzone Scroll can be nice. Yep, on his bell. You could certainly go in this way. Yeah, so Jason, in this matchup, I would say, the Marauders with the AP are good, but they're just going to die. Due to the Globadiers, they're just going to die. So you're going to pay extra for AP, and pretty much all they're going to do is die, so you're just paying for extra units to take more damage, if that makes sense, in this matchup, pretty much. Yeah, which is always pretty rough. So, of course, we don't have much money left now, so, most people were bringing... You don't have to go as elite with this infantry. Something like this can be fine. You can maybe even go another one of the Skaven's spears. 300 gold left over. Maybe if you want to upgrade this to the Regiment of Renown, that is also fine. Yes, you can have Regiment of Renown. You've got 3 range units, you've got lots, you've got 4 of the Rat Ogres there to protect, Globadiers, good front line, you've got an extra 100 gold, so, maybe do that as you please. If you can maybe fit in, could you fit in maybe 2 of these now? One of these, maybe? You could fit in something like this, this would be fine. Yeah. Maybe make the Gracier cheaper, perhaps. But yeah, something like this would be fine, I think, for Skaven. You need something to deal with skirmish. You need mass in the middle in case like Manticores and Big Lords are brought. Poison Wind Globes to win the front line, and Zap Cannons and Teeth Breakers, yeah, just to keep the skirmish in check. Yeah, so something like this would be acceptable. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today. Of course, only 2.5 hours long, but hopefully, there's been 5 matchups, chats with ODM, myself, going through some of the units, looking at some of the staples about how they work. There's also a few other ways you can play. You can bring Gutter Runners and Night Runners and play a bit of a skirmish game. You could even go for maybe even going for a push as well with Skaven could be certainly a possibility. But you can see every defensive build ended up being for Skaven, whilst the aggressor certainly was the Warriors of Chaos. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, of course, please smash the like button. It obviously does help quite a bit. Thank you yet again to ODM. Please do give them some big love and respect. And yeah, we'll be back soon. I imagine we'll do this again next Friday. We'll pick another matchup. So if there's any matchup you specifically want to see, please do let me know. We decided this one today because it's a relatively interesting one. It's changed with Warriors of Chaos changing. Maybe something like Cathay versus Dwarves could be interesting. Or, you know, maybe we go Vampire Counts against Khorne or something like this. Okay, no one really cares. What the people really care about is Norska. The people do care about Norska. We could do Norska, and, you know, it doesn't have to just be top tier matchups. It could be, how can you make Norska good this matchup? And I'd be very happy to do that. I don't know. What I could do is I could make a channel poll for next Friday. So I'll do it on YouTube, and I will just put up 6 factions. And you can all pick a faction from those 6. I'll then put up another 6. And then you could just pick. I'm not too sure. Or maybe go to the Discord and we can have a vote. But yes, do let me know what you would like to do. What you'd like to see. And then hopefully we can deep dive into some more breakdowns with ODM in regards to these matchups. So guys, yet again, thank you very much. I'm going to shoot. But you guys take care of yourselves. And yeah, I'll be seeing you on the next one. I won't be around tomorrow. I'm working. Sunday, definitely, probably will be a stream there from me. Yeah. Probably Sunday will be the next one. So, take care of yourselves. See you soon.